be in that condition. If you go to Mark's Gospel, chapter 1, verse 26, similar thing, it happened to the man, the demoniac, when the evil spirit shook him violently, and Jesus cast that out. Now, the one who was threatening to kill president is a psychiatry, mental, so he's going to psychiatry hospital. Now, these are people who are being controlled by demons, evil spirits. Instead of bringing them to the ministers, the pastors, so that they cast that out, you are insulting the pastor. Now, should we allow demon-possessed people to come and rule and take charge of our society? You know the tax I pay, Osofo. Sometimes when this thing come and I see the tax that I've paid, but at the same time I said, praise be to the Lord we serve, because it's going to build our nation. Then when my tax goes, you babies with sharp teeth, you are stealing the money and you don't want us to talk. We will talk today, we will talk tomorrow.
A lot of you were excited when you see your father up there, always happy. Papa is up there, Papa is up there. But when you are up there and you are fighting up there, then some of you are crying. How can I go up without fighting the demons in the air? And so stop all these fights and all these arguments. The question is that, is your father okay? I am 100% okay. The question is that, is your father happy? I am super happy. The question is that, is your father going to go through this? I promise you, I'll go through it honorably. So every one of you should relax, be happy, and don't, like Doc said, don't waste your time fighting on the Facebook. Waste your time pushing the agenda of expansion. Post messages, preach to people, let everybody know that surely it is our year of expansion. Are you excited? Tell your neighbor, I'm all right. Amen. Thank you, Prof. Now I know I'm now experiencing that this church is not for me, because the
result of the vote. So you can actually vote for a party which can punish you. Yes. And they can punish you and create hardship for you, but because you see it like supporting Olympics or Accra House of Folk, you still support, although the policies are not favoring you. It's not about party colors. A nation becomes what its citizens vote for. Sometimes we pray, we say, let's pray for the nation, that God will bless the nation. No, we have to pray that the citizens will make intelligent choices. Because if the citizens don't make intelligent choices, God is not going to come and rule Ghana for us.
When people do wickedly, they say go to court. Because they know the court has become toothless. Their hands are tied. They know what is right to do, but they dare not do it. Judgment never goes forth. Those who have money, they are the ones that carry the judgment. And so even when you are being cheated and they are using that on your head, they say, go to court. You shouted, they say, go to court, stop talking. Why are they so bold? Why are the wicked saying we should go to court? Because the court is in their pockets. And the wicked, they compass the righteous everywhere. As if to say, we have told you, we are not about righteousness now. We have taken over. Whatever you know, whether it's right, keep it to yourself. We are in charge. Is there anybody like Habakkuk in Nigeria? Are there preachers who understand that we are now in a terrible situation? Are there pastors who are not just concerned about their pocket and about their stomach and about their big name? Who are concerned that we are entering into a difficult time? When people do wickedly, they say go to court.
And our future. There is a house. You are staying there with your parents, and you have a borehole, and people come and fetch. But people who come and fetch, some particular people have decided that they will come with poisons in their buckets and fetch into it, and you are the same people also drinking the same thing. You have found out that these people are putting poison in your borehole. You complain to your father, and your father says, those people give me some small allowance, so you drink the poison like that. And your father says, I can't do anything about it. Then you continue complaining, and he says, continue drinking it. Maybe next year by this time, we will no longer be here. So you continue drinking it like that. Will you continue drinking the water? How will you feel about your father? He's a wicked person. That is what our politicians are doing to us. This galamsey that is going on, if you knew how our future as humanity is threatened, you would not be sitting down smiling with these politicians. And somebody had a guest this morning. He's called that if we stop galamsey today, some MPs will lose their seats. And so he actually shouted that we will not stop galamsey today or tomorrow because we will lose our seats. And we are there smiling with them. That is the highest form of genocide and wickedness. And Catholics, we are quiet. Let us do something. Even if I'm not calling for riot, but do something every day, show your displeasure, because our leaders have failed. This is the highest form of wickedness for the father, for leaders to tell their children to continue drinking poison.
What's that about? So no come here, comment him, Papa. Cut the one could not print one and Brian, and your friend. Papa. Hey, Galamsey, he said that was what took us. Now, no book goes soon. I will assess. I see Papa. 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 Jiti, oh, Jiti, it's not no, oh, Jiti, and the Bioma, half a fire, Papa, it's what I say, baby, you should say, maybe to be a nippy. Don't do excellent. Back for a piece petty. I said, oh, Titi, I am a send to have me. You're fast, didn't to have me.
Someone say hallelujah. Someone say hallelujah. Where did you park your car? You have moved it already. You are good. All right. If you follow American police, you will never drive. But they are always on your nerves. Amen. My country, when the police see me, they salute and they call me General, sir. General, sir. Then I'm gone. Without driver's license, I've been driving. Without car number plate, I'll be driving. Who born you by mistake to stop me? Because if you stop me, I'll call your boss. Call your boss. Oh. Someone say hallelujah. Someone say hallelujah. Where did you park your car? You have moved it already. You are good. All right. If you follow American police, you will never drive. But they are always on your nerves. Amen. My country, when the police see me, they salute and they call me General, sir. General, sir. Then I'm gone. Without driver's license, I've been driving. Without car number plate, I'll be driving. Who born you by mistake to stop me? Because if you stop me, I'll call your boss. Call your boss. Oh.
Esanse odif enshabutuam enshamram ensie your DC or this area mpesaka for mukama mitie your regional minister or area ha your lands commission or area ha your forest apinama your forest commission or area ha enunti eshamram misra Ghana for medem pamochao ye ho bro ene ye nchiri mano susu abro na political party bi ba wo so do be magaram say akoso wo ka wo ya wo yo bufo wo yo mamboni political party bi so say mercy garam say amasoa medimakonya beto ho garam say na ma ekoso ade an wo ye enya no sam eye nibire na me ka no Ghana Christopher Edoson mama ya ni mriye nya ye na ehwe so mbegya na politicians bia ni area ni constituency ni bia gara say the people should reject him. Party be authority this God I'm saying the party should be rejected. Party chairman, party secretaries, party sponsors, moguya ni mosi. You have become a disgrace and a disaster to this nation. We should think about the people. We should think about the posterity. My heart is burning. We should change. And the corruption, almighty corruption, politicians, sounds.
Yes, and so we don't have a direct control when the reports are ready, when the reports are completed. What we can do at best is to impress upon ranking members and the chair. So I can assure him today we have. What's your problem? This is better than your situation. This is better than what we experienced under you. You should know this. Sam George, you should know this. This is far better than what we experienced under your tenure. So, fact be told, as we speak, 3 of the reports are almost ready. My friend should go easy, but I want to caution him that he should equally talk to his ranking members. They should quickly read through the report to receive the signatures of the chairman. And therefore, we are up for being ready to prosecute government business. There's no doubt about it. I'm surprised at him. And you know we are very ready. What am I going to say?
Well, Minority Chief Whip.
As your president, I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all Ghanaians for their patience and understanding during recent temporary challenges with the electricity supply across the country. Over the period, The issues surrounding maintenance of transformers and gas supply have been successfully resolved, resulting in a sufficient improvement in power supply reliability. Indeed, over the past few days, we have witnessed stable electricity supply across the country, with no load shedding reported anywhere yesterday. For the past 7 years, we have worked tirelessly to keep the lights on, and I am confident that the unfortunate era of doomsday will not return.
Energy sector, the current power cuts. Some people are saying that you made mention of this, you use this as a campaign against John Mahama, and now we are experiencing a worse situation under President Akufo-Addo. Would it reflect in the 2024 election? Would it be something that people will stand on to vote?
If you are comparing 4 years, MPP administration energy sector is 300 times better than John Mahama.
But we are still experiencing doomsday.
Nobody has said we haven't. I'm just saying it's far much better than John Mahama ever did.
You do admit that there's doomsday.
That is the word you used. I have never used that word. I've promised you that we are going to work on it, and it's not a work that is a single event, it's a process, and we'll continue to work on it for the energy sector to become better.
Have you heard of calls for a timetable?
Ask those who want it to bring it.
They should bring the timetable.
If there is, I haven't seen any timetable. So when
people are calling for it.
Say bring a timetable. What do you mean? The ECG says that there's no timetable coming. Why do you want to bring a timetable? What purpose? Why would somebody get up and wish evil or bad for the country? When it is not planned, you can't tell the person. Were you in Ghana under John Mahama? Did you live in this country under John Mahama? Did you live in this country under John Mahama? Did you? I'm asking a question. Did you live?
It was equally worse.
It cannot be equally worse.
But look, MPP use it as a tool against.
And I'm saying that even if you are talking about that, it was worse under John Mahama than ever now.
Under my tenure as president, our challenges in the power sector became so severe. I accepted the responsibility and took some bold decisions to provide a sustainable solution to the problem. I did not throw my hands in the air in despair and blame my predecessors for the crisis. When the Akufo-Addo MPP government took over, they have disingenuously tried to take credit for the work that was done in the power sector, and they rather blamed my administration for investing in excess capacity. Today, the country has been plunged into darkness. Mismanagement of our generating assets and collateralization of the ESLA, which was meant to provide the resources to finance current and legacy debt, has led us back into doomsday. The best government can do is to eat humble pie, take responsibility for the problem, and work to address it. Unfortunately, that is not the case. I'm aware that businesses and households cannot plan because of the erratic power situation. When citizens demanded for a schedule to enable them plan, which is the least that a responsible government should be doing, Energy Minister Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, who was one of the frontline participants in the Doomsday Must Stop campaign while in opposition, is reported to have said that those asking for a load shedding timetable wish ill for the country, and they should publish their own schedule. This is most disrespectful to Ghanaians and the customers of electric power.
Ghana and Ivory Coast, the comparison has been going on for a while. Darkness in Ghana, lights in Ivory Coast. Projects in Ghana delaying, projects in Ivory Coast going on. Your opponents say Ouattara is better than Mahama. And that's why Ghana and Ivory Coast as neighbors seem to have the situation where Ivory Coast is a better country. You are in a better place to tell us that you've been to Ivory Coast, they actually gave you a national award. You know about the ECOWAS situation. Why are we lagging behind Ivory Coast?
You used a very wrong word, lagging behind. We're not lagging behind Ivory Coast. And I normally don't like to compare, but we definitely are not lagging behind Ivory Coast.
If you take the UN Human Development Indicators, aside from Cape Verde, Ghana is second in the whole of West Africa in terms of access to water, in terms of, you know, all the various human indicators that are given. Ghana is second. If you take the size of economy, Ghana has the second largest economy. Cote d'Ivoire is third. Like
Ghana
I said,
is second after Nigeria?
Yes, after Nigeria. Ghana has the second largest economy in West Africa. And so I normally don't like those comparisons because each country is at a different stage in its development. And the circumstances in each country are peculiar.
But until recently, they had light, we didn't have light.
Well, Cote d'Ivoire has gone through its own period when they didn't have lights. We've had to exchange power. At times when they don't have, we have given them. At times when we don't have, they give us. And so it's not something new. Since the 70s, our two power systems have been interconnected with each other. Ghana had a Kosombo, which we thought would never, you know, finish. And so we had excess power. And so we used to give Togo, Benin, we used to give Cote d'Ivoire. Unfortunately, the results of climate change have changed things. And aside from that, it's a sign of our growing economy. Our economy has grown so fast that demand for power has ballooned. And we had not been consistent in putting in, you know, enough generation to meet the demand. Aside from that, while demand was increasing, power from our hydro sources has been going down because of the low level of the lake, because of climate change, less rainfall and all that. So it's been a very complex situation, but I normally don't want to place blame. I took responsibility to fix it, and I believe that we do have some stability in our system now. Indeed, we're going into the era of energy security because with...
So you haven't fixed it yet?
We fixed it. We're going into the period of energy security. I mean that the period where we can suffer no such reversal.
When will that period start?
From 2017.
January 2017?
No, with the 10 field, you know, I went and tendered about for the 10 field. Sometime next year, we should see about another 70 million standard cubic feet of gas, you know, coming into Etuabo. And then end of 2017, the ENI field will start. And sometime in 2018, we should have 150 million standard cubic feet of gas.
So by the end of 2017, we should be fully energy sufficient?
By the end of 2017, we should be energy sufficient. By end of 2018, we should have excess power to be able to export that power. Because by 2017, we'll have about 70 million standard cubic feet from the 10 fields. By 2018, we'll have 150 million standard cubic feet of gas from the ENI field. The total subscription we have in the West African gas pipeline is 120 million standard cubic feet. So it means ENI is going to give us much more gas than we have subscribed for from
So we'll have enough gas to power our plant?
So we'll have enough gas to power our thermal plants. We'll even still need additional gas if we can get it. And so all the other work that is going on is important towards making sure that we have enough gas. If you take Jubilee and 10 and ENI together, we're talking, you know, of about 300 million standard cubic feet of gas.
And all of these?
And that should produce about another 2,000 megawatts of power, in addition to what we're producing already. Already we're producing a little over 2,000 megawatts. And so if you add another 2,000, that's 4,000 megawatts. That's far more than Ghana needs.
So we should look at all of that and call it Muhammad Duam?
No, we all do.
This demonstration is not to topple the government. This demonstration is to indicate to Ghanaians the insensitivity of the Muhammad's government. The insensitivity of the Muhammad's government. This is not to topple government. We don't advocate for a regime change this way. We are going to vote next year, and we are going to vote them out massively. That is good governance. That is partisanship. We are going to democratically remove the Muhammad from power. Not through this demonstration. But the demonstration is to demonstrate to John Mahama and Ghanaians that what is going on is bad. If you are feeling the heat, if you are feeling the heat, like Ghanaians are feeling the heat, if you are buying electricity and they are having it for free, if your salary, you are spending 60% of your salary on electricity bills, what I'm suffering? I am suffering. John Mahama is not suffering. How do you expect the members of the members as a collective to speak on your behalf when you decided to give majority to such a bad government, NBC? Ghanaians should realize that their term matters. Your term matters. Your term matters. When you go and vote, you have to know that the consequences are ahead of you for the next 4 years. The term that Ghanaians gave to John Mahama has shown that they should never again trust John Mahama.
Cause of Dumso, and Dumso has been caused by the financial and economic mismanagement of this government, and so we shouldn't be giving them credit for solving a problem that they have solved. And Akufo-Addo has made it very clear that his government is going to build a globally competitive economy. We have not really been thinking global, and this is what we need to do. That we have to understand that we are in competition with other countries, and investment moves from country to country, so we have to think global. And so, you know, the Nana Akufo-Addo policy, which he stated, is just basically to build the most people-friendly and the most business-friendly economy in Africa. This is the goal that we are going to try to do, the most people-friendly and the most business-friendly. The tax issue is a major issue, because if you are so, fixated on revenue, you will essentially end up hurting your production. And so if you go back into history, you study the economic history of United States, Germany, England, all of them have used the tax, policy to encourage production. And this is why we are saying that, today you have a situation in Ghana, unbelievable situation, when businesses are out on strike. Businesses who should be selling are out on strike. Why are they out on strike? Because they've been overburdened by taxes, and if you don't take care, you'll be chasing the tax revenue and killing businesses. And when you kill businesses, it means you are causing unemployment. And so if you go back, this is why Nana Akufo-Addo is saying, we need to mobilize financial resources. So why are you going to be imposing VAT on financial services? It doesn't make sense in a country which has got a very large unbanked population, and we want people to bank. We will abolish that, he says. We will abolish import duty on all raw materials, because that has been a policy that will help production. Let the businesses produce. Let them make profit. And when they make profit and employ people, we will get income taxes and we will get corporate taxes. So you don't go ahead to kill the business. No, let them bring in the raw materials, let them produce. Then you will tax, at the end of the day. And I think that you have a government where you have cutlasses being taxed, condoms being taxed, and even savings. There was a 1% imposition on savings, which was later withdrawn. On investments, yes. On investments, which was later. Even to think about it it's been suspended. It's been suspended. But even to think about it.
Oh, it's now abolished, is it?
Okay, good. Yeah, but even to think about it, it doesn't. It just. Why do I say so? Last night, I received the news, as all of you have received, that upon all the troubles we are going through and trying to survive this phenomenon that they have inflicted upon us for the last 3 years, they have decided to increase the price of fuel by 9%. How uncaring can you be? This is the government that said, I care for you. Where is the care? Don't you have any empathy for the suffering of our people? You have to increase in this period where people are trying to buy diesel, to run generators, businesses and individuals. This is your thank you to them, to increase further the price of petrol and diesel and other fuels. And this is why we are saying this is the most uncaring government. How can government be seeking to contract this magnitude of non-concessional loans at this time when it does not have enough cash to meet statutory payments? This is like an alcoholic who has just been convinced to enter rehab, and just a few days before rehab asks for a carton of whiskey. Can this person be trusted to keep or to stay with the rehab program? Undertaking this additional borrow would mean that the anchor is not likely to hold, and it would compromise the objective of fiscal consolidation and debt sustainability. Given Ghana's economic situation, this bailout program will require a commitment to fiscal discipline that will test the resolve of any government in any developing country, such as ours. And it is important that the government understands what it has signed up for. We should.
When people do wickedly, they say go to court, because they know the court has become toothless. Their hands are tied. They know what is right to do, but they dare not do it. Judgment never goes forth. Those who have money, they are the ones that carry the judgment. And so even when you are being cheated and they are using that on your head, they say go to court. You shouted, they say go to court, stop talking. Why are they so bold? Why are the wicked saying we should go to court? Because the court is in their pockets. And the wicked, they compass the righteous everywhere. As if to say, we have told you, we are not about righteousness now. We have taken over. Whatever you know, whether it's right, keep it to yourself. We are in charge. Is there anybody like Habakkuk in Nigeria? Are there preachers who understand that we are now in a terrible situation? Are there pastors who are not just concerned about their pocket and about their stomach and about their big name, who are concerned that we are entering into a difficult time? When people do wickedly, they say go to court, because they know the court has become toothless. Their hands are tied. They know what is right to do, but they dare not do it. Judgment never goes forth. Those who have money, they are the ones that carry the judgment. And so even when you are being cheated and they are using that on your head, they say go to court.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our joy, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. Inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Right, hello, good morning and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Wednesday, the 30th day of October, 2024. By His grace, we're live and we're here. We're at another edition of the show. Our gratitude will go to the Most High God for the very privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making the rounds here in our dear Republic. I'll let you into our panel for the morning's conversation shortly. But let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic. Government urges ceasefire in Boku, imposes curfew and deploys security. 447,698 students placed into SHSs and other institutions. Overturn your ruling. Speaker asks Supreme Court. Government, PSWU, signed 3 conditions of service agreements. The Ghanaian Times. Renewed chieftaincy dispute. Stop politicizing Boku conflict as Mobuatin admonishes politicians. Boku under curfew following deadly chieftaincy clashes. Mahama calls for truce in Boku conflict. Ghana's vigilante groups increased from 27 to 72, security expert. Daily Guide. Reverse decision on vacant seats, Speaker to Supreme Court. Ekuadonko dead. Baumia is my ideal successor, Nana. Don't politicize Boku conflict, chieftaincy minister. VIP shakes Accra. The New Crusading Guide. OSP probes GRA Tata scandal, response to petitioner's call to look into suspected fraudulent deal. NACOC bulldozes staff with uniform directive, disregards minister's instruction to halt, orders regional commanders to purchase uniform by October ending. Don't rush to abolish double track system, Educhum warns. Alliance Mamota for Front of Victory Walk rocks Accra 2nd November. NPA boss named Public Sector Personality of the Year at Ghana Business Awards. Ghana loses $3 billion to corruption annually, Emmanuel Wilson Jr. The Insight. Alan set to shake Accra with mega for Front of Victory Walk on Saturday. Cholera kills 2 in Adan as 43 confirmed cases reported. Gadangbe Lands Administration declares state of emergency over disputed lands, urges Lands Commission to halt registration of lands in contention. Israel's genocide in Gaza, a reflection on Palestine in the year of bombs and watermelon. The Herald. Names of EC officials on America's watch list out. Confusion of Boku conflict murders as state security personnel sleep on job despite 6 million Ghana cedis monthly cash. Highlights of NDC and MPP manifestos on fiscal policy and digital economy. Mahama questions Baumia on 17 cedis to $1 and 766 billion cedis debt. Baumia predicts December triumph, cites fulfilled campaign promises. NAPO spokesperson denies ethnocentric remarks against Ever and Ghana people. The Informer. CID boss hot, AG advised to take over case. Ghana mourns Ekuadonko, Baumia shakes OT, promises equal opportunities for all. At Ghana Club 100 Awards, KGL Group wins big. Vacant seats Bruhaha, Speaker flexes muscle, throws out Supreme Court writ. To reduce monthly costs, Ghana to import oil from Nigeria, NPA boss hints. The Inquisitor. Late Alhaji Salia's forged will case. Wahala for CID big man. Scrap ex gratia for 8th Parliament. Deny MP salaries. Kokofu. Fake news. NAPO has not denigrated any tribe. Mahama gives Baumia 5 questions to answer. Get Fund boss clarifies E-blocks controversy. The Daily Statesman. Baumia is the best choice. Akufo-Addo rally support for NPP flag bearer. Survey outlines factors to influence December polls. Kokofu calls for cancellation of ex gratia for 8th Parliament. ISE projects Ghana's 2024 growth rate to hit 4.5%. The Daily Searchlight. Carnage in Boku, more than 20 lives lost in renewed clash. Don't turn Parliament House into boxing arena, Napo tells NDC MPs. We're creating an environment for the training of 21st century graduates. Dr. Luchum. NPA boss named Public Sector Personality of the Year at Ghana Business Awards. UPSA celebrates 16th congregation as Professor Abednego F.O. Amate ends his term in office. Another land chairman team Greater Accra for Front-Up Mega Victory Walk on November 2. The Ghanaian publisher, Baumia, confident of victory, pledges monthly stipend for chiefs. Stop politicizing Boko crisis, chieftaincy minister. FDA trains disease surveillance officers on food safety. ADB records 3.4 billion cedis deposit growth. The Accra Times. Ignorance and poverty are bane, Speaker Bagbin reminds African leaders. Facelift for Parliament as Speaker Bagbin commends ADK Consortium. Ayenswanu MP Educational Fund supports 40 students to go back to school. Well done. Vote for Mahama and NDC. Alhaji Musa Bari. Jospon Group on top in Uganda as President Museveni hands over Kitizi landfill to the company. The Custodian. Baumia is the best to secure Ghana's progress. Napo. Over 553,000 students get 2024-25 free SHS placements. NPP mourns Ekwa Donko's death. UTAC suspends Galamsey strike. Keyed Ghana second ranked in telecom sector. Daily Post. Akufo-Addo fears accountability, hesitant to hand over power. Mahama. NPP inducing rural voters with salt, Maggi cubes, and kerosene. Joyce Bauer. Ekwa-Donko's death. EC suspends presidential ballot printing, reopens nomination for GFP. And that's about it for the front pages. We'll be back shortly.
Hey guys, so I got this app. It's called Ayoba. It's a chat app that helps me with beauty tips and cooking tips. A super app that feeds me music and the latest sports content. I even use it for my studies. And the good news is I don't need to use my data bundle because I'm on MTN. Chale, the app just did be.
Ayoba, the all-in-one app that lets you chat, call, read, play, pay and listen. Use Ayoba at no data cost on MTN. Download Ayoba now.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia #1 on the ballot.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth and fresh breath.
I'm a missy way.
The patch of Bantama.
Matias.
That's a cycle.
It's her smile. The fresh breath.
Me, Jidi said we use Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim jom kasa. Ile kosen. Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will see so feeling kika when you know Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Customer, I don't know who to say.
Malaria been actually on my number still.
One give us.
Give us a solid.
Yeah, sorry. What rest of so give us here and don't come down.
But so good as so. But tomato give us the and don't come down.
Give us about me, sir.
The patron and don't come down.
Hey! Customer! Give us your tonto now! Back!
Onuya kayo, oba wa fa furo nom, de o ma no banu fu nom, akwada wa ni mfie dumie no ono nso nom.
Apomode hunsem yemfen diagro, enu nti na se wonom ede papa nko a. Exodus moringa capsules, ene Exodus dandelion capsules, efi Exodus ebusuyenum, na ebeboa wa pomode. Emu bia wo benya no betimi aboa, nanso se wonye to no a, wo betimi anom abom, na ebeboa papa apa. Se wonom Exodus moringa capsules, ne Exodus dandelion capsules. Ebwa mamoja di efusani yu. Na fe ebusi wo immune system no na kweti ayarewa ahodo. Minim yi se nipa dodo na nim dia moringa etimi ye. Na dandelion so ye nim. Eno nti me nkasa bebre. Enye ma apemfo. Ana abatan a oma enifo. Ana abofra onya emfidumi. Exodus ehuwa dansi die dos.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia #1 on the ballot.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere.
8K. Hey, you get an 8K. Get that packing from your pocket. One lie. Hey, wait.
You go put it on his tab. This is my man. Good luck.
Hey, yo, Bill Radio. We are star 712. It's much more phone. I'm on dialing the magic numbers. Star 712. Now welcome to the luckiest. And now with me at home ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved one.
Mommy, tell mommy who's here.
You're buying for me, right?
Or who else?
Oh.
Let's choose buy tickets for others.
Love you, boo boo.
No, maybe straight to option 4. Now we try. You need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify. Yes, you can buy random or preferred tickets. I'm choosing random tickets. Listen, if you buy the random ticket, the system chooses a random number for you. But if you buy the preferred, you get to input your own preferred 5 digits. 5.
Baby, give me your 5 numbers.
And how much are we buying?
Babe, look at the body and buy you.
With your body,
Hey,
Dema, tread cautiously. Now follow the prompts and confirm. The luckiest.
The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
To all our believers,
to the Niger Gunners of Global Road,
all you Artetas of Africa,
of Accra, of Maputo,
of Oimbo,
the legends of legends down Lusaka way. We hear you.
Now hear us.
Obrigado.
Halo.
Betway, the official global betting partner of Arsenal.
Who are you? Who are you? Charlie, I'll be you from the future. Who doesn't sleep on that slice of bread for mattress anymore? Don some slippers, then follow me.
It is part of the mattress we did the front there.
Yeah?
That'll be the mattress where the bed for me.
Wait, what are you doing? Wow! No damage at all. Not only durable, but also super comfortable. Come on, try it.
Nothing day like ash foam. Enjoy full body support and unparalleled comfort for a restful sleep.
Don't forget your keys.
Get the premium sleep experience with mattresses from Ash Foam. Visit any of our showrooms nationwide or at ashfoam.com.
You're the answer to my prayers. You're with me everywhere. You're my angel, miracle. You're all I need tonight. Give me shelter from the rain. You breathe life in me again. You're my angel, miracle. You're all I need to know tonight.
I'm delighted to announce to you that Clifton Homes will be part of this year's Mikasa Home and Property Fair, happening live at the Movenpick Ambassadorial Hotel from the 2nd to the 3rd of November 2024 from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. each day. Get ready to explore the latest in real estate and exclusive insights into our properties. Join us for a day filled with inspiration and exciting opportunities at the Mikasa Home and Property Fair, happening live at the Movenpick Ambassadorial Hotel from the 2nd to 3rd November, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. each day. Visit cliftonghana.com to find out more about Clifton Homes. See you there.
I live at Angloga and I had my basic education at Way, a town in the Volta region of Ghana. When I was at JHS, it wasn't easy for me when it comes to my financial aspect because my mom is a seamstress and as well as a trader, and my dad engages in farming activities. But God being so good, the government of Ghana brought up this free SHS policy. So I'm so happy that the government have brought up this policy. That is making me also to have access to secondary education. One day I would like to become like the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia. That is, I want to become an economist. He is my role model because I believe he has been one of the best economists ever in the world.
Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Bawumia, #1 on the ballot.
Dear Ghana, I write you this on the year you have to take the most important decision of your life. 2024, deciding who should serve you, protect you, govern you, and provide for you for the next 4 years and beyond is no child's play. This is the most important decision of your life. Whatever action you take, make sure you know why. The same with speaking. Don't just run your mouth. Know why. There's a time to crack jokes and a time to be serious. The most advanced societies know why they are doing something most of the time. Not all friends can be trusted. In the end, it all comes down to you and your decisions. Who really are your friends? Who will make that difference when it comes to the decisions you make in life? Who really has your back? Choose wisely. Choose Election Central. Yours ever, Metro TV.
Ignite Media Group, operators of Metro TV, Original TV and FM, is looking for volunteers in all 276 constituencies for the 2024 general elections. The volunteer must be over 18 and must show ability to report on the elections. A first degree in any discipline will be an advantage. The suitable candidate must also have some equipment, for example, a phone to report with. If you satisfy these, please contact 0545 734637 0545 734637 or send an email stating your constituency to bnanfo@metrotvonline.com. Huge opportunities await you.
In today's interconnected and interdependent world, nations and international businesses are increasingly appreciating the need to foster greater trade relations.
Get the inside views, vital information, trends and analysis on emerging trade giants in Ghana and beyond. International Trade Focus, the global television trade showcase, transcending barriers in creativity and innovation.
International Trade Focus has been developed to serve as your reliable platform for international business connections and trade events. Join me and Aspio as I bring you a whole menu of international trade activities.
International Trade Focus, your timely business hub. International Trade Focus is brought to you by GOL, ADB, Pediatric Valley Resorts, and Public Elegance. International Trade Focus is brought to you by GOL, ADB, Pediatric Valley Resorts, and Public Elegance.
Welcome to our maiden edition of the Young and Smart Show.
I can sing than everyone.
It can do everything, but not everything.
My father was an importer from that country because he always jokes for me to laugh. And we left, you are your night.
The Akufo-Addo government, which began in 2017, has shown remarkable transformation in the educational sector under the ministerial leadership of Dr. Yao Osei Edochum. The implementation of numerous initiatives in the form of infrastructure development, formulation and implementation of policies and programs such as the free SHS, as well as investments in TVET institutions, STEM schools and basic to secondary schools have resulted in massive transformative achievements. These achievements are expected to empower future generations with essential skills needed for personal growth and national development. In the light of these, I bring you documentaries highlighting the transformative achievement in the educational sector, spearheaded by the Minister for Education, Honorable Dr. Yao Osei Edochum. Watch the Transformation Agenda series on education this and every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. and on Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Transformation Agenda series on education, reimagining education for national development.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step.
The journey continues, but becoming that phenomenal lady doesn't happen in a day.
It takes courage and refusing to settle for less.
This season, on the PL show, it gets much more diverse,
engaging and impactful. This is the PL show.
We paint the perfect picture of pain, sleepless nights, hard work, and of course, the ultimate breathtaking view from the mountaintop. Success.
Successful ladies from all walks of life doing amazing things and positively effective change in their respective fields.
And as you know, we share all these with you, our ardent follower, to help you navigate that journey and also come out strong and phenomenal.
This is the PL show.
It's brought to you by Kale Charcoal, Kale 360 and Kale Kicks Toothpaste.
Kale, happy smile.
The ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development, EBID, the development finance institution of the 15 countries of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, is holding the second edition of its high-level President's Roundtable on November 5th, 2024. EBID's 2024 President's Roundtable will be centered around the thematic topic, Road Mapping Infrastructure Development in ECOWAS. Showing live on Metro TV Ghana, DSTV Channel 277, and EBID's digital platforms such as Facebook and YouTube, this second edition of the high-level roundtable discussion will focus on the challenges and opportunities of infrastructure development while proposing actionable solutions to build a more advanced and integrated ECOWAS. The President and Chairman of the Board of Directors of EBID, Dr. George Ejekum Donko, will be joined by other leading development experts in the sub-region to discuss and share their collective experiences and perspectives on addressing the infrastructure deficit in West Africa and catalyze actionable solutions that will propel the region toward a more prosperous future. Join the President of EBID and other leading development experts Live on November 5th, 2024 from 11 a.m. GMT on Metro TV Ghana, DSTV Channel 277 and ABID's digital platforms. ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development, ABID, transforming ECOWAS communities.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. And it's been an awesome journey with Momo from MTN. 15 years of ease, safety, and convenience. This is definitely worth celebrating. That's why the Momo at 15 Rewards is here with amazing cash prizes just to say thank you. Send money to an MTN Momo user or make payments to an MTN Momo merchant at no cost whatsoever, only on MTN. So go on, download my Momo on the App Store or Play Store to enjoy this. Just Momo it everywhere you go. Terms and conditions apply. And Curl 360 toothpaste is that toothpaste that will take care of your entire family and save you some money. It's also recommended by the Food and Drugs Authority. Curl 360 toothpaste provides you and your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. Curl 360 toothpaste is good for kids, children, and adults. Let your family be a proud family when they step out by constantly using Curl 360 toothpaste. Curl 360 toothpaste brightens your teeth, prevents cavity, and with its cool mint gives you fresh breath throughout the day and protects the gum from decaying. For consistency and quality, use Curl 360 toothpaste. Curl 360 toothpaste is another product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasso. It's available in all supermarkets, malls, and provision shops. Call Samara Company on 0246-864798. Curl 360 toothpaste, happy smile. Well, with me on the show this morning, I have the chairman of the Energy Committee of the Baumia 2024 campaign team, Kojo Nsafua Poku. Kojo, good morning.
Good morning, Randy. How are you?
Good.
You know, these are places I don't come a lot, so when I come, I'm excited.
It's good to have you.
Thank you, my brother.
Right. Also with me on the show this morning is the president of the NDC Professional Forum, Ambassador Sampi Yale. Echi, good morning. How are you doing?
How we are managing.
Sampi at 70.
Yeah. 70 plus now.
How is it like? How's the 7th floor like?
Well, we'll discuss that later.
We all want to take notes, eh? We all want to take notes.
I wanted to know if it's exciting.
It's not. It's not.
It's not exciting.
No. The number of tablets you have to take, whether you are walking or you are on tilt or whatever, it's not easy.
You're always listening to your body.
Body, yes.
Let the body dictate.
It's not easy.
God is good. we'll be fine.
Compare us when we were ensnared, that active group of boys.
Well, it's a warning to all of us.
Yes, as long as you are alive, you say amen to the Lord.
Anyway, it's a blessing. Now, let's start off with the energy sector, and it appears that we're the never-ending problems in the sector keeps rearing its head, and for us as consumers, we are always at the receiving end because then the disruption in supply is felt directly, of course, by us, and so the issue of the indebtedness of government to the IPPs has come up. The issue of ECG. I'm sure that you've read the PURC's letter to government about 20 times. Now, we're told about the haircut by the IPPs. Is it happening? Is it not happening? Today, the finance minister says that, look, we've reached an agreement with some of them. The chamber says we are not aware. we are yet to see a formal announcement with respect to that. We know about Sonon Asogli, and you read their statement, they say that they've not even been charging those idle charges and those things. They don't even bill the ECG for that. And yet, they are owed so much. For the entirety of this year, they've received under 27%, less than 27% of the invoices that they have issued so far. A reason which they find untenable at this point. And so, and this has nothing to do with even the legacy, what they are owed already.
Yes.
And so they cannot continue supplying any longer. Now, Gridco has also issued a statement telling us that, I mean, well crafted by Jifa and a team, but the meat in it is that, look, there are financial challenges with respect to the gas supply thing. And so we are not getting what we require. And obviously, we cannot give ECG what we should be able to give. What's going on?
Well, Randy, it's like you mentioned, I think I will underline the never ending. You know, it's something that by now we should have basically crossed that line, but it looks like we haven't. We've tried to do the plaster on the stomach ache thing, where we've not really done the antibiotics and then stopped everything and basically clear the infection. And that mainly has to do with what happens to ECG. I think post-PDS, everybody has been a bit jittery to look at ECG and say, look, we really need to address the ECG problem, because they are the collectors, they are the last mile, they are the people who interface with the customer. If that engine called ECG doesn't work, the car doesn't move. And the never-ending cycle of indebtedness is mainly to do with the losses, really not to do with technical losses, really to do with financial losses really now, and the commercial losses at the ECG end. It's definitely way more than 40% now, looking at the total energy given to ECG and how much collection is actually done. They are doing well. Let's not say that they're sitting there doing nothing. But, you know, there's a saying that good is the enemy of great. Right? When you're doing good, you think good is enough, but great is better, right? But so there is a need to look at that problem and say, how is it that the value chain can pay for itself? And the simple reason is that when you send the power generated down the value chain, goes to ECG, the money doesn't come back. So that problem sits there. And we all always have to call on government, which is the Ministry of Finance, to make up the shortfall. And that's where the biggest challenge is. The recent outages that we've experienced. So
before we come to the recent, let me just pick your mind on something. Now, ECG is 100% government-owned company. Now, ECG's board does not even deal with the institutional representation outside government. So government determines and appoints the chairman and all the members on the ECG board. So government is 101% responsible for ECG.
Yes. But it's a human institution again, and has various levels of...
All I'm saying is that it is owned by government. Government decides who should run ECG on the basis of the analysis of the problems at ECG and government strategy with respect to solving it. And that will therefore influence the kind of people who will go in there and the kind of targets that government will set for them. I hope you get the point.
I understand clearly.
Yes.
But that's why I made mention that it's not a management problem. It's a structural problem. I think ECG, as a civil society member and now as the chairman of Dr. Baumia's committee that we came up with our manifesto, what everybody has been advocating for is private sector participation in ECG. But after, like I said, after PDS, then the question is, in what form does it take? Do we go back and do the same PDS thing that we created a problem for ourselves, or do we do something else? And I think the last mile, which is the retail marketing, and strip it away from ECG is the best solution. So it's not really a managerial problem. It is really a structural problem.
But
restructure the company.
You see, the structural question, the answer to the structural question, comes from ownership.
Yes. But I'm saying that this...
So it comes back to the
same thing. I agree, but I'm saying that... So that's what the problem is. That bold decision, which we want to take going forward, has not been taken in the last 6-7 years. And that nobody can run away from. So I think that it also in part because of the PDS issue. You know the PDS is still... There's some arbitration going on. I hope you know.
I'm not aware.
Okay, so there's an arbitration going on. Okay, so there is some court in the, I think in the UK, where the PDS people took the government to court. So there is some arbitration still going on with that.
But that can't affect...
That can't, but I'm just saying that that decision, the bitterness of the aftermath, has not led to the bold decision that should have been taken. And for me, as I sit here, look, anyone that wins the December 7th election should take that bold decision. And that is why Dr. Baumia has made it very clear through our manifesto what we want to do. Basically, take out the retail end.
So could you, let me, you see, you play in that sector, you know, and there's a reason why I'm raising this issue with you. If you look at the numbers, is that not a place where every government should prioritize in the first 100 days?
Yep.
If you look at all sectors of our economy, all sectors, if you look at the hemorrhaging in that part, if you look at the debt in that part, and it's like, it is not unexpected. As we see today, you can even calculate and tell us that for all the power that will be produced in November, this will not be able to be accounted for. We will lose this at the minimum, not so.
Yes.
So if a government is running an economy, and like you said, because it is 100% owned by government, government will always be called upon to come and make for the shortfall. Now, if we look at what we did with the banking sector, the reasons we gave as to why we needed to do the cleanup and how much we spent on that cleanup, if you compare that against what is happening with respect to our energy sector and all that, shouldn't that be the priority for any government to deal with?
But it is, and the actions have been taken. But you see, that's what I'm saying, that for a human institution, when government does policies, they have to implement. I'll give you a typical example. There's a cabinet directive that says that the last mile, which I talked of, right? Basically, there is something called boundary metering, which has been going on for a while. All the concessions have been partitioned, and they put meters at the boundaries, so they can account for the power that goes to that concession. In consultation with the ECG board and ECG management, the Ministry of Energy sent a memo to Parliament, to Cabinet. Cabinet approved and said that this multi-sector retail then should start immediately. Then when that implementation were to be done by the ministry, ECG came and said, hold on, we can't do that now. We need to, before we can do the concession arrangement, we need to do a stock take of all our assets within these concession areas. Because if you're going to give a concession to a company, ECG will need to know what assets they are giving to these companies within these concession areas. Then the ministry said, okay, bring a timetable to when you can now do the stock taking. They brought a timetable for over 3 years, which now makes the whole thing look like, but this is something very urgent that government wants to do. There's a cabinet memo to this effect. Then the issue of the institution called ECG dragging its feet to implement something that government thinks is a priority. That is the problem.
No, but that can be a problem.
No, it is a problem. No, when you're in government, what do you do?
It can be a problem because if you appoint a board of directors, and they appoint a management team, and you have a policy decision that you believe is the way out, they can't be...
There can be resistance?
I'm saying that you cannot say that you are helpless.
No, there's resistance. So that's what the problem is.
You cannot say you are helpless to that resistance.
No, you can't, because, okay, let me give you an example. VRA. You've recently had agitation by VRA unions.
Yes.
When government came out with a policy that we are going to merge VRA and BPA, View Power Authority. You've had agitations. Is that warranted?
I had them make the case of a lack of consultation.
Well, that's fine. But the point is that there has been consultation.
No, I heard them say that. I have not heard government debunk that?
No, there has been. No,
you don't get what I mean.
I agree.
I've not heard government debunk that. What I have seen is government rather write to Parliament to say, hold on.
Okay. So the point I'm making is that when you have a limited liability company or a corporation, and it has various levels of management and unions and all that, and I have always said numerous times that unions today overstretch, right? Unions get into conversations that unions don't have to get into. What unions should take care of is the welfare of its workers.
It's not the union that is saying we can't do this.
No, but the point is that the minute you push further, you will get the union coming.
So the point you're making is that government is unable to deal with the ECG situation because the ECG management is not cooperating.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that the government has been trying very hard to move this thing along faster than the anticipated time when ECG is saying they can do it. Government thinks it's urgent. Government knows it's urgent, so government wants it done faster. But the institution called ECG needs to move faster and be in line with what government wants. But that's not the case.
So in 6 years, we've been unable.
No, it hasn't been 6 years. We could bear in mind PDS lingered for a bit. So after PDS, we've now had PDS ended in 2018.
Yes, so that's why I say 6 years.
Yes, okay, fine. Yes. 6 years. 6 years of whatever happened. Yes, we've been unable. That's a fact. But the point is that I just want to correct the fact that it's not a matter of government has not had agency. Government had agency. Government has tried to put measures in place. There's a cabinet decision to make it happen. But unfortunately, it hasn't happened. That is why for us, in stock taking, in admitting, we're saying that, look, let's have bold solutions going forward. And within the next 2 months, there isn't much that anybody can do. We need to basically wait for the December election, come in, looking at the stock of what has happened, take a different approach to solve this problem.
Okay, so let's get to the present issues.
Which is the challenges? Yes.
The debt.
I think the debt, the current, you see, it's not really a debt that's causing the current issue. E&I, I think Ghana Gas is giving us enough gas. Gas is doing very well, giving us even way more than what the contractual is. But E&I did maintenance. And after their maintenance, we realized that instead of 245 scarf, they were down to about between 170 and 190 in most parts. So I think sometime last week, it came to the attention of government that after the E&I maintenance, they've not come up to the full whack. And when government engaged them, the issue of some technical issue and some payment that they needed to resolve some things internally came up. Government has engaged them. As we speak now, they have come up to 210 scarf, promising to go up to 245 scarf. But you know, when the technicality of this whole thing, when the gas is down, you need to basically go through a lot of technical issues to bring it up to where it should be. So that has been resolved, and I think in the coming days we should see the end to the pocket of outages that we've had in the country.
What about that Asogli situation?
Asogli has shut down since 3rd or 6th October.
Yes, 3 weeks now.
Yes, and the light is on. Look, we have about over 5,000 megawatts of installed capacity. So if you are Asogli, and you have 560 megawatts, right, out of the 5,200, and you are negotiating with government on your payment, and government is saying that, look, I'll pay you. And your solution to that negotiation of I'll pay you is to shut down your plant.
But is this not unfair to Asogli?
It's unfair, I agree. But it's also unfair to government.
No, just hold on.
When you know that there's election coming up and you go and turn off to 560 megawatts.
Facts, if you were managing Asogli,
yes,
and in the last how many years?
I agree.
You have your overheads.
I agree.
You probably are taking loans.
Yes.
To be running this business.
Yes.
I mean,
but as a businessman, I understand that more than anybody else. But as a politician, I also see it as bad faith when I have 2 months to election and you shut down 560 megawatts on me. That's why the minister said it's bad faith.
Are you not thinking about the other? Are you not thinking about other IPPs?
No, we are, but that's why other
IPPs.
Yes, but the other IPPs have not followed suit, and they basically kept faith with government. Because look, you have a power purchase agreement, which gives you certain comforts. Okay, this debt is not a today debt. It's been there, like you said.
Is certain comforts like what?
You have a guarantee that you can fall on in terms of non-payment.
But many of them are falling on the
car power.
The guarantees are actually wiped off.
Exactly, but the point is that
even the World Bank, you are in business.
I'm aware.
I agree.
But Gabi, sorry, Gabi, Randy, we are in the business of doing business, right? You have a client, you have a customer who doesn't have as much money that he's supposed to have. He pays you as you go along. It's let and let's leave. Our bonnie, but yet here. But that is the living situation and the partnership that we talk about. You are aware of government situation. Is it better? No. Does it need to be improved? Yes. But when we have a situation ahead and government, okay, who is running to retain power, needs your cooperation in this situation. But if your solution, no, Randy, what I'm saying is that, look, Asogli shut down on their own will, that they're saying that, look, you owe me, if you don't pay, I'm shutting down.
No, they've given us the fact that if from January to September,
yes,
all the invoices I have presented to you, you have paid about 26%. You are a businessman.
Randy, I'm not saying
26%.
Randy, if that you stick with us since January till now, there's 2 months to an election. You think it's fair for you to shut that 560 megawatts on me? It's not. And I have told them. I personally have told the chamber that, look, they should talk to their member. That it's unfair. That's what the minister said, it's bad faith.
Why are you not rather speaking with government to
No,
find
I have
some money
spoken.
for
No,
them?
they are trying to. But the point is that this is the country where 1 + 1 is not equals to 2. Right? The local BBO doesn't come all the time. You know that we all know what it is. We are not a country that boasts of being the wealthiest country. We know what it is. Everybody, look, we've been around 223 constituencies to sell the good message you're talking about. Everywhere you go, everybody wants roads. Everywhere you go, everybody wants something. So it's a big country where citizens rightfully demand their fair share of development. So you need to spread it thin. But if you are a customer and you have a client who is facing this challenge, because in the same time they are asking for 60 million, E&I was also asking for money. Everybody is asking for money. Imagine everybody decides that, look, government, we are shutting down. What will happen to the country?
Is that not the reason why government should have sorted out the ECG situation much earlier?
I agree.
So we don't get to where we are.
We all agree on that. Yes. That is why we need a bold solution going forward. But the point I'm saying now is that Asogli has been shut. So when people say that the lights are going off because of Asogli, I say no, it's not true. Asogli has been out for 3 weeks and the lights are on. The last week Thursday situation coming now, where the light we visibly see outages. It's not Asogli situation.
So our capacity is coming handy.
Their capacity?
I'm saying our capacity.
The total capacity of 5
has come in handy.
Has come in, of course, it's coming in handy.
Okay, let me bring
I like the way you put that in. Hey, Randy.
Let me bring it there. Let me bring it there. I was happy. Let me read something to you before we hear you. This is from Makojo Boafu, who's in the States, and I always say that looking at the time difference, it makes a great deal of effort to really wake up to watch us.
No.
No.
Okay.
No. He says that you should have seen Sampiyali when he was the head of the Cape Coast Metropolitan Assembly during Rawlins's time. The Francis have this statement, life owner, to describe well-dressed gentlemen. He was a proper life owner and a complete gentleman. I always loved his broad smile anytime we met at Siudu Park to watch Ebusian Drops. And he says a happy 70th to you.
Oh, God.
Right. Yes.
Randy.
Yes, sir.
For the past 8 years, we have been doing fraud information systems management. Fraud information systems management.
Fraud. FRAUD.
Fraud information systems management.
Okay, which is what? I never heard of that.
My brother sitting here has given 11 reasons why where we are now. 11? 11.
Oh, you were...
VRE resistance to unions, to whatever, E&I, technical, gas, payment. What is the problem? I can spare you because during those times, you were the only one who said we shouldn't politicize energy. You were the only one who said it, and I still remember.
Yes.
Randy, here we are as a country. We've been told that people have acquired excess capacity, and that was criminal. We were told that we didn't need this, and that. One of the reasons why Mahama lost the elections was doing so. But I'm happy that today it is not a generational problem. I'm not an energy expert, so pardon my French usage of your words. I am happy that today they have considered that it is a financial problem. And Randy, when we were telling them that no, at that time, it was not a financial problem because we have buffer systems to contain the situation. They go, no. Because what comes up, what goes up, come down. You see? In my house in Nansuma, Randy, they have changed meter, three meters this year. Three different metering systems. One of them ran like a mad horse. See, when you have a problem and you don't solve it, you cover it like how do you describe it? A stomach ache with a plaster. That's what your government has been doing for the past 8 years. That's what your government has been doing. Instead of identifying the problems of this country and solving it systematically, for you, everything is about elections. For the NPP, everything is about elections. You know the Galamsey fight? It's been abated because of there's an election coming on. I'm sad that somebody like you should be saying that Asogli is acting in bad faith because they are 2 months to elections. When they have taken loans, like Gandhi is pointing out to you, they have taken loans, they are paying interest. Some of the loans are even from international sources. They are paying interest. How do they sustain the company? My own small company, Abam Kofi, if I appoint board of directors, I appoint management, and they are not functioning, I'll fire them. But who did you put at the ECG? Your friends. Your friends, the former chairman of the board and everything. Everything was around a certain cycle. And that's why we're having this. Why are you not reminding Ghanaians of what happened in the PDS? What happened? We would have been very clean and cool with the PDS.
Really?
Of course. Let me explain why. Not the PDS system, the PDSO, but the system of privatization.
Okay.
We could have been cool because ECD at that time needed some oxygen to revive. The Americans said, we are giving you this lifeline. All right? That the vice president of this country then connived with other people for personal and political interest to change the system that has been established, which Amewu calls fraudulent. And because of that, nobody is now even capable of thinking of, let's see how we can privatize ECG because of the fraudulent thing that you did against this country.
Can you expand on that?
I'm going to expand. Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes. Explain what happened in the PDS.
Well, when you say that the vice president of this country, I don't think Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia had anything to do with PDS. And that is why I wanted you to expand.
If that's your explanation, let me explain.
Yes, that's why I was a bit confused.
There was the call in the parliamentary requirements that there should be a condition precedent in terms of bank guarantee. Right? When the company felt that or came to the block that they cannot comply with that, they then pleaded with the government, your government, led by Bawumia, to change it.
That's not true. That's not true.
It's the truth.
No, that's not true. I can give you, look, I'm part of COSECA. And COSECA, basically, with Kofi Bento, Richard Nyama, we've led this PDS.
Can I have my turn?
Okay, please go ahead. So when you finish, I will.
Whatever happened, why did the PDS flop? And in the words of Amewu, it was because of the fraudulent nature of the transaction that came up. If you don't take a Randy, you're also going to pay another judgment debt. Because I've been following the PDS case in London. You're going to pay another judgment debt. What kind of system is this? You have a sector as urgent as energy. Then you take money to go and build a cathedral and leave a hole which nobody knows when it's going to be completed. You have ECG to deal with. Then you go and attempt to buy a sky train. Put all the expenses that you have made recklessly together, and you will know that we could have saved ECG with that. Who are you crying to now? Randy, by the end of this year, by estimation, what ECG alone, the energy sector debt that will be left, will be enough to collapse the next government. Because now, all our taxes have been mortgaged, collateralized. Now, every revenue that this should accrue to the next government, we can't lay hands on it. I am not one of those who blindly believe in the private sector, because the experience in this country have a lot of answers for the private sector's capacity. But at least a little of it, as at this stage, is required. Let us look at ECG again. Let us look at it again. And if it's the management that we have to dissolve, I hear Dubik has resigned.
Resigned, yes.
Yes. Why did he resign?
He says personal reasons.
Yes, personal reasons indeed. You know, your revenues are not enough. Then you have put in place a revenue assurance company who does very little and takes so much for the ECG. And I think you know what I'm talking about.
No, I have no idea. Honestly, I have no idea. If you, the same way you know Dubik had resigned, the same way I don't know.
I was just reminding you
don't
that
know. You don't know.
I don't have no idea.
I was just reminding you that Dubik has resigned.
Okay, but I don't know about the revenue assurance company.
Let's be serious. The criminal things that are happening in this country, if you don't take it one day, this country will come to a halt. Bang. This country will come to a halt. Bang. We have destroyed our economy. Now we are a junk state. We have destroyed our environment. Now we are drinking poisonous water. Our education system has not been spared. How many years of reform? And now look at what we are going through. Our banking system has been destroyed under the pretense of whatever. I think that we need to reset this country, not to upgrade it. We really need to reset, because this kind of recklessness, this kind of rot cannot be upgraded. I'll rest my case.
All right.
Let me quickly go on that. Yes. Okay, so the documentation that said the transaction or the transaction details for PDS was set by MIDA and the compact, not by government.
Yes, MIDA.
Now, to change any condition precedents for the transaction to go through, government didn't have a role in changing it. So it's MIDA that has to approve. So there was a requirement that the company has to provide a bank guarantee. To change it from a bank guarantee to an insurance bond, it was MIDA. It wasn't the government that approved it, because government has no role. We have the documentation. We have the letters, the approval from MIDA. There is no letter, no communication.
Was there not a committee chaired by the vice president?
No, that had no...
Just hold on. Just hold on.
Okay.
Was there not a committee chaired by the vice president that made that recommendation of a change from the bank guarantee to an insurance guarantee?
No, there was. Okay, so let me expand on that.
Yes.
The transaction had gotten to the point where the selected company, which was at that time PDS, could not meet the bank guarantee as stipulated by the transaction.
Right.
They went to government and told government that, can we change a bank guarantee to insurance bond, which we think we can do? Government said, we are not the ones to make that decision. It's MIDA. So I want to correct that, he said. He said there was a fraudulent act done by the vice president, which is not true.
It is true.
The people who changed it from bank guarantee to insurance bond is MIDA.
Did government make any recommendation on the basis of the request by PDS?
Well, what I'm saying is that that's a different conversation.
And to change conditions precedent into
a condition subsequent.
Yes.
What I'm saying to you is that if government is a beneficiary of something, there is a winner. That winner is having problems. They go to the government and say, look, these are the challenges I'm having.
Why didn't the winner go to MIDA?
No, because the chain, you can't go directly to MIDA.
MIDA selected them.
No, MIDA were the transaction advisor, where they were the ones, so they were not. Government of Ghana, it's like when now you get something from World Bank. The World Bank is given, they supervise, but the people who are implementing and supervising and doing that is the government.
Okay.
So when government has problem, they have to go to MIDA. Before MIDA is the final, and MIDA has to go with the compact. Because without the compact approval, you cannot get the disbursement. So everything has to be done in line. So the point I'm making is that if somebody sits on this platform and says that fraudulent decision by the vice president is erroneous, because the vice president, even if the government made a recommendation based on the winner's problems he's having, This is a person who's won the tender. He's having XYZ problems. This is the recommendation they brought. MIDA, make a decision. And MIDA decides and agreed to alter bank guarantee to insurance bond. It's not the vice president that did it. So let's put that in context. Now let's move on and look at some of the things.
Let's correct this. MIDA is the American agency.
No, it was a Ghanaian company. MIDA is a Ghanaian company.
Oh, you wait.
MIDA is an American agency. It's a Ghanaian company.
It was the one to implement the compact.
Yes, but it's a Ghanaian company.
It's a Ghanaian company.
Yes, a Ghanaian
right.
company.
Okay. So the question is, who approved the change? Is it
the MIDA in consultation with the compact? Because the compact is signed with the
and after MIDA had done that with the American company struck at the
compact. No, it's not American company. The American government.
After MIDA has agreed.
The company went and did the insurance.
My point is that this is a company that is going to manage the assets of ECG. So it's going to manage Ghana's assets, the assets owned by Ghana. Are you saying that the government of Ghana, the government of Ghana is not interested?
No, they are interested.
No, the point I'm making is that they are not interested in whether a bank guarantee should be provided instead of an insurance guarantee. For which reason that if the concessionaire were to make some demands on government, government will not have to analyze itself to say that, look, for all these assets of mine, I am prepared to make a request to MIDA on behalf of this company. Or I think that the conditions precedent must remain, and the bank guarantee is better in securing my assets than an insurance bond.
Randy, everybody knows my take on this PDS thing. Okay. I'm one of the few people that went to Parliament and told Dr. Sibe Yeboah and his committee that thing they have approved will not last 1 year because PDS will not, because based on the transaction they've done, PDS will not survive, and it did not last 6 months.
Why did you come to
that conclusion? Because the basic, look, simple. We had a tender. Certain international companies were selected. Those international companies were vetted. The local companies who were to be 51% shareholders had not been subjected to the same scrutiny of the international company.
Why?
Well, that's the problem. That's why some of us concluded that based on that has been done. I don't even want to turn this conversation to a PDS conversation. So that's a long thing. But myself, Bemboache, and what's his name? Kwame Jantua.
Yes.
We went to Parliament and petitioned the committee that if you guys go ahead with this, it will not work. I did that. I am 100% against the bank guarantee being changed to insurance bond because I don't think it was appropriate. But what I want to correct is the statement my brother made that the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, did a fraudulent act. That's all I want to correct. It was not, that is, as long as we correct that, that's fine. You did not do such thing.
You have tried to explain, but you have not convinced me because I know.
Well, that's fine. I don't need to convince you. I need to put a record straight for the Ghanaians to understand that.
Well, that's your records. But my records indicate that Bawumia was the chairman of the committee.
There can only be one record.
Yes, there can only be one record. But Daddy, you know that there's only one record that the government committee that allowed that was headed by Bawumia. So that's the straight fact.
Yes.
So now you can go on and try and explain.
All right.
Go explain, Taya.
Let's take a break. We'll be back shortly.
Hey guys, so I got this app. It's called Ayoba. It's a chat app that helps me with beauty tips and cooking tips. A super app that feeds me music and the latest sports content. I even use it for my studies. And the good news is I don't need to use my data bundle because I'm on MTN. Chale, the app just did be.
Ayoba, the all-in-one app that lets you chat, call, read, play, pay and listen. Use Ayoba at no data cost on MTN. Download Ayoba now.
Abraham Ojecheson, more from Tuna Mammy. Mammy from the Dupia, one of Mammy at the autumn. Papa sometimes listen to composed so nippy. Macatama to me, so nippy. Teach them Bobia Sana. Even crap pad and I need to pump for your day in your beauty. Money animal for. I'm seeing penny. Until me will your chest in and I made you ready to me. Yeah, maybe I could say you man, I may pay a day. Until you were from Tinuma Okada, I could follow the free as a chest in the back. Namely, ride the meadow was sick. To Musumo to my death, my best says, Nama, but she was school. To my bad. Now, sometimes if for wishes I did the school, for you I am a deep. Maybe sometimes most of the mamma ride it. I feel so maybe able to me, I should be school. You're just school for simple. My Gary sugar now, mirror now, the poor I did even be at our school. Now, a table to school for Saka. I'm the Biamakadako father one bar, there, obey president, and I don't hear free success, not that anything. None of me, I could pardon no bad or both were here. You can't cut to work, see, mamma, and each other up a penny. While my hair say, you were papa crying, there will be other man you so. Yen your choir see our school. Nay, cash at the end of day. Young good aim, my sitter. Your bocodna, yes, see our woman.
Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia #1 on the ballot.
Experience the enhanced protection of Star Motor Third Party Extra from Star Assurance, an enhanced motor third party insurance policy that provides cover for loss or damage to your vehicle's windscreens, side mirrors, back glass, and other glass components. Whether it's a crack or major damage, you can drive with the assurance that your vehicle is well protected. Our commitment to you includes affordable coverage options and a claims process that is both fast and straightforward, so you spend less time dealing with paperwork and more time on the road. Also, we have proudly partnered with Hope for Little Lives, an organization dedicated to supporting children in need. By choosing Star Motor Third Party Extra, you're protecting your vehicle and making a positive impact. Every policy you buy helps bring joy and support to children in underserved communities. Reach out to us now on our toll-free numbers 0800-177-177 or 0302-245-906 to sign up. Let us help you drive with peace of mind and purpose. Star Motor Third Party Extra. Drive with confidence, give back with heart.
Star Assurance, your solid partner.
To all our believers,
to the Niger Gunners of Club Road,
all you Wartetas of Africa, of Accra,
of Maputo,
of Oimbo,
the legends of legends down Lusaka way. We hear you.
Now hear us. Obrigado. Halo.
Betway, the official global betting partner of Arsenal.
Using Coa Mixture, Coa Plus Mixture, and Coa MT Mixture, brought to you by Coa Research and Manufacturing Limited Company, proudly made in Ghana. Formulated to support your general well-being. For those seeking immune system support, there is Coa Plus Mixture. Support your body's defenses and stay strong. When it comes to combating malaria, Coa MT Mixture will aid your treatments. For effective relief from malaria symptoms, try Coa MT Mixture. Coa Mixture, Coa Plus Mixture, and Coa MT Mixture are not recommended for pregnant women, lactating mothers, and children under 12 years. Always take a malaria test before using Coa MT Mixture. Choose Coa Mixture, Coa Plus Mixture, and Coa MT Mixture for your health needs. Available now at pharmacies nationwide. For bulk purchases, contact 0244 726611 or 0591 565 778. This advert is a.
Hey, what's up?
How far with your internship?
To be honest, I'm so nervous about starting this new role on Monday.
Oh, please. I know you'll be great at it. You should be worried about what benefits they have. Example, do they have health insurance?
I doubt they will have that for internet. But no shaking. I have NHIS already.
Actually, I'm on a line.
Hey now, look at you. What are you going to do in your office when you can just download the app to register for an NHIS membership?
Yes, my people. You heard right. You can now download and register your membership on my NHIS app. No long queues or tedious paperwork. All you need is your Ghana card to register for yourself and for others. Once you register, you get a new digital NHIS card on your phone. My NHIS app gives you access to credentialed health facilities and services across the country. NHIS covers over 95% of disease conditions in Ghana. Access to healthcare just got easier.
Now let me sign up quickly. Please, Seth, I'm starting work next month.
Anti-cavity,
gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fair missy way.
The patch of Bantama.
Matias.
It's her smile. The fresh breath.
Me, Jidi said we use Cal 360 toothpaste. Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector. Onim Jom Kasan. Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
And you will so feeling Kika when you know Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia #1 on the ballot.
While you're done for the day, someone is planning to start theirs. At every given second in the dead of night, an uninvited guest could turn all your hard work into a nightmare. But with Response 1's Biz Guide monitored alarm, help is already on the way. Our state-of-the-art video verification means the moment your security is breached, we are watching, verifying the threat instantly. Our dedicated response team acts swiftly, ensuring that threats to your livelihood are stopped in their tracks. And with our rent-to-own plan, this unparalleled security is yours with an affordable monthly payment. Protect your business now. Pay as you earn. Join the hundreds of shop owners who trust Response 1 to protect their businesses. Don't wait for the worst to happen. Act now. Call Response 1 today or visit our website. Your business deserves the best defense.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere.
8K. Hey, you get an 8K. Get a package when you have to one lie. Hey, wait. You go put it on his tab. This is my man. Good luck.
We'll wait here. We are star 712. It's much more phone. I'm on dialing the magic numbers. Star 712. Now welcome to the luckiest. And I'm with me at home ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved one.
Mommy, tell mommy who's here.
You're buying for me, right?
Or who else?
Oh.
Choose buy tickets for others.
Love you, boo boo.
Maybe straight to option 4.
Now, you need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify. Yes, you can buy random or preferred tickets.
I'm choosing random ticket.
Listen, if you buy the random ticket, the system chooses a random number for you. But if you buy the preferred, you get to input your own preferred 5 digits. 5.
Baby, give me your 5 numbers.
And how much are we buying?
Babe, look at the body and buy you.
With your body,
Hey,
never. Tread cautiously. Now follow the prompts and confirm. Now the luckiest.
The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
My life wasn't always like this. I worked in a bank and had money in bonds to cushion me for the future. Then, with a stroke of a pen, my life was destroyed. My bank was part of the 420 financial institutions which the MPP government recklessly collapsed. What was to become the life of the workers? No one in this insensitive government cared. And suddenly, I was jobless. Their incessant borrowing also led to a debt restructuring program that affected me, and just like that, a significant portion of my lifetime investment vanished. Even worse, my lifetime savings from 30 years of hard work has been rendered useless due to the continuous depreciation of the cedi and extremely high cost of living in the country. Now, look at me. The fruits of my toil and sweat have all gone down the drain because of bad leadership. What to eat with my children is even a struggle. God, help me and the many who share in my pain. Let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end. Change must come.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. And as the proud official global betting partner of us now, Betway is bringing you way more with a new fun exclusive page. Place any bet on Arsenal and you stand a chance to win exciting monthly prizes from a range of Arsenal jerseys to memorabilia and more. Not only that, you also stand a chance to win a once-in-a-lifetime play on the pitch experience at the Emirates Stadium. This competition will end on the 31st of January 2025. It's exclusive to Betway. Terms and conditions apply. This is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet the responsible way. Betway, get way more. And I announced it yesterday just to remind you that I have an interesting conversation coming up at 10 a.m. this morning. And it's because today a book will be launched. A book will be launched between the hours of 4 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. at the Christ the King Hall, Cantonments, that's opposite the Jubilee House. And the title of the book is From Persecution to Freedom. From Persecution to Freedom. Reflections on my journey through the justice system in Ghana. And this is by ACP, retired Dr. Benjamin Agojo. You remember the kitchen knife coup case? Okay, so ACP retired Dr. Benjamin Agojo is my guest this morning, and I'll be having a conversation with him about this book that he will launch today, From Persecution to Freedom. And so make a date. Is going to be a very, very interesting conversation this morning. Now, Echi, Parliament, there appears to be what we call the organs of government, the triumvirate. Okay, somebody says that they become the organs of confusion or anarchy. So there's an issue between the Speaker, Parliament itself, and then you have the judiciary then stepping in. And then we now have in fact, it started off with an issue between the executive and the judiciary with respect to the LGBTQI. And the judiciary stepped in. Whilst we were waiting to deal with that matter, then there's this issue of vacant seats. And the Speaker giving a decision on the matter. And then we have some members of Parliament going to the Supreme Court. Well, I'm not a lawyer, but they went there and filed for an injunction without notice to Parliament. This was granted unanimously. Okay. Then Parliament itself could not come up with the numbers when they convened in the House. The Speaker is adjourned sine die. And then we know that one side of the House has collected enough signatures to make a request for Parliament to sit. The Speaker, by the standing orders, has 7 days to respond to this request. The Speaker, we're told, has also responded on 2 courts. First of all, he's caused Parliament to write to the Chief Justice, raising issues of procedure and law and whatever in terms of the service. And then he's also filed a suit asking for the Supreme Court to vacate its own decision on the matter. We're told that the Supreme Court will hear the matter today. As we speak, Parliament is not in session. And we all know that originally Parliament was supposed to go on recess by the 15th of November so that they can go and focus on their campaign and all that. So we have 15 days. I don't know how many sitting days are in the 15, but we have 15 days more. But this is the kind of situation that we find ourselves in. And as we speak today, if you follow what happened in Parliament, there's a new majority and a new minority. That's if you follow what happened in Parliament. And until that is set aside and announced in Parliament, it's a different matter. Outside Parliament, there's a disagreement to that. People believe that on the basis of the Supreme Court's decision, the status quo, what was before the Speaker's ruling, is what is today. What do you make of all this?
Well, I told you that we have run a system of fraud information management system, and that is the parliamentary aspect of it. You understand? As for the facts and the background, you have succinctly laid them out. But the issues arising out of that. One, is it true that some members of parliament have taken the steps not to contest as members of the MPP? Yes. Has somebody also said that I am moving from independent candidate to become a member of MPP PC? Yes. If that happens, what happens? That is where the issues start. Now, to find answers to parliamentary issues or any legal issue, you look at the Act or the Parent Act or the Constitution. And in this case, the Constitution is very clear, unambiguous, under Article 97G and H. And it is not that this thing has not happened before. It has happened several times. In Liman's time, even the last one was the minister for, the man who just crossed carpet and said that the one that brought in Indis of Fuseni. Why you saying?
Professor.
Professor. And even the classical case of the Formina MP himself, the Formina MP himself, the law has been applied. Now the thing happens, and because it's going to reduce the numerical strength of the NPP and remove the title majority leader, which Afenyo Markin thinks is a bona fide. That's all the problem. That's all the problem.
I've just been reminded that the Public Procurement Authority is written to the Speaker to speak about, to complain about his procurement of private legal services. Contrary to, I'm sure that's procurement that should have gone through the PPA.
The law firm.
Yes.
But the Speaker...
That he should use the AG.
Oh, how? But the AG himself is a defendant. In this matter, the AG himself is a defendant.
Yes.
And the Parliament as an institution has a right to appoint a lawyer.
Yeah, but maybe you need to go through...
No, when the EC appointed lawyers...
Yeah, we don't know if they didn't go through PPA.
No, they didn't.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Right, so...
I'm not sure that the issue is that you cannot take a private lawyer.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that once it is about public funds, there's due process you must follow. I'm sure that's the issue.
But Randy, yes, okay. But how many of, when the government...
Let's not even make that the issue. I'm sure that Parliament will deal with that. Yeah. Or the Speaker's office will deal with that.
As I sit here, I'm waiting for the decision of the Supreme Court today. Happily, I hear they are sitting today. I'm waiting for it. But until that happens, the Speaker's rule is the one that we are dealing with. Because on that day, when the motion was made by Honorable Tuforson, the Speaker's conclusion by applying the law, and there's a difference between application and interpretation. And especially so when there has been a condition precedent, a condition that has been set by Speaker Michael Quay. Surprisingly, the MPP now is saying that, oh, Michael Quay was wrong. If it was wrong, how did the Siama become the second deputy speaker? But that is the system we are running. Today it is right. The same facts, the same issues, it is wrong. So, like I'm saying, I'm trying to wait for the Supreme Court decision. But my worry is this. Andy, there have been several pressing issues that have been filed with the Supreme Court. But it appears to me that this is taking rather fast nature. The implementation of this coming and paneling. Afenyomarke went to court Monday, isn't it? Monday. By 10 o'clock, the Supreme Court was sitting.
Friday.
By Monday, the Supreme Court was sitting.
No, same day.
Oh, yes. Same day. Yeah. They were sitting.
That's the injunction application.
Yes. Now, we have directives that say that as far as possible, you should always give notice to your opponent. And ex parte motions should be applied very, very rarely. The Speaker had not run away from this country. And if you are going to place an injunction on the Speaker, at least our practice demands that the Speaker should have been on notice. Now we have served the Speaker, and the Speaker is saying that no, by Article 130, to serve me, once I'm going to Parliament, I'm transacting parliamentary business, you cannot serve me. It was because of this complex service issue that the Supreme Court itself agreed with the Speaker. Then they will serve people on Monday, because that Monday they don't do sitting. Why is the Supreme Court itself reaching this? So the Speaker has also written that, look, take your rate, because the way you serve me is not regular. Now, when I was in Tudu, we had something like Sayo, Onipa Vejelo. Our executive is in turmoil. They can't do anything now. Our judiciary, I don't know, but our legislature is in trouble. Less than 40 days to election. What country is this?
It's called Ghana.
But in all this, Randy, where is the Peace Council?
What do you want them to do?
Oh, Randy, why do you pay them? Where is the Council of State?
What are they supposed to do? They should call the parties.
Oh, at least. Oh, that's why we in Tudu we say Onipa bed.
People are talking law. Let the law
go. Grant. When there was this northern crisis, there was law, but Asantini was able to mediate. I think we have taken this matter too far, and somebody has to speak to the leadership. And I'm wondering why the president is allowing this.
But he's a party in the matter, is he not?
No, I can be a different party in this matter, unless it's an interested party.
Is he not? He is.
Okay. Or beneficiary.
He is. It's about his party.
My brother. You see, the problem with this thing that you just mentioned, that how come it's urgent, it's the most urgent thing that anybody can think of. It's the legislation of our country. It's the work within the shortest possible time.
The LGBT is not an urgent.
No, it's not. I mean, the work of.
Hey.
No, it's not an urgent matter as compared to the work of Parliament, where Parliament has to sit within the shortest possible time. There's a lot of bills. Everything that you think about, I think that the legislation, there are three arms of government. One breaks down, there isn't a functioning government. So if one side of the government is broken down, then the other side who can remedy the situation should quickly step in and remedy it. Look, people keep talking about the Michael Quay instance. Let's break this down quite clear for everybody listening to us to understand. There was the Esiama issue. The party, you see, there are events that has to take place before the Speaker has to take an action.
According to
the process that they cite on the Michael Quay issue, where they say that the Esiama issue, the Esiama, if you want to set a precedent, look at what transpired in that precedent. Okay? There was a party and its member issue, right? So in the beginning, the Esiama and the MPP party had an issue. Then the party wrote to the Speaker.
Which issue did they have?
Well, when Esiama decided to go independent.
Okay.
As per the party's constitution, the party has a right to exercise the letter of its constitution. That's outside Parliament. So the party exercising its constitution wrote to Parliament, Speaker, and said that this person in Parliament, this. So based on that letter from the MPP, Michael Quay acted. Today, somebody should tell me which letter based on which that the Speaker...
Are you suggesting that...
There's no letter.
No, hold on. Are you suggesting that there is a rule, a regulation?
Which rule and regulation?
No, I'm asking you. Are you suggesting that there's a rule, there's a regulation or a law which stipulates that when that action takes place, the party in question must write to Parliament before Parliament...
Yes, because the person in Parliament is on a ticket of a political party. I understand what you're saying.
Yes.
The person in Parliament...
Asked you a question.
Yeah, I know. But the Parliament... But it's common law. It's common law. The common law is that the person... Hold on. The person in Parliament is on a ticket of a political party.
Yes.
The political party has informed you that that person is no longer a member of the party. You cannot determine that by yourself. The Speaker has no locus to determine that fact.
How?
The fact, because what is wrong?
Do you know why the
No,
Speaker...
but I'm telling you that... No, but the Speaker has no powers to determine whether...
the filing at the EC.
No, but hold on. You can file at the EC for the next Parliament. That's the mistake you guys are making. The filing at the EC is not for this Parliament. It's for the next Parliament. For this Parliament...
understand what you're saying.
Okay, if somebody's filed in for the EC, whatever is going on for EC, it's after 7 January 2025. Okay. It's not for this Parliament.
So when a Siama filed in 2020,
yes, the party.
What was it for?
The party. Listen to this. That's what I'm clearly making. The party, the political party, has to make a determination.
No.
So that, yes.
It's nowhere.
It is up, but it's our constitution.
Please, hold on.
It's nowhere where.
Hold on, Kojo, hold on.
Kojo, no.
Every registered political party is a public institution.
We know that.
I hope you are aware.
Yes.
The
governed
MPP,
by their own constitution.
Please, nowhere in the MPP constitution does it say that when it comes to the automatic forfeiture of membership, the party's council or the party's general secretary or any process has to be triggered. It's not there.
Is this? Hold on. It
there
says
is
that.
no
When let me land. Look. Yes. The Speaker is not an interpreter of MPP's constitution. The Speaker does the Speaker function. No, what I'm saying to you is that based on everything that everybody talks about with the Michael Kwe issue, there was a letter written from the General Secretary of the political party to him to act. In this case, there's none. But let's move on one step further. And
the point I want to make to you
yes.
is that the letter that the party wrote to Speaker Okwe was not on the basis of any law or a requirement.
No, it's based on our constitution. No.
Show me where in your constitution.
In this your thing, do you have an MPP constitution
show me,
here?
There should be one.
It does MPP constitution. If I can find, I'll show it to you. Hold on. When you now become an independent party or leave that, you go something contrary to, right?
So automatic forfeiture.
Hold on. Yes. But the point is that put it this way, that forfeiture. What I'm saying to you is that Speaker Bagby is not an interpreter of MPP constitution.
No.
MPP is a private association.
No,
he is not. Let's not give him powers he doesn't have. And now let's move on to that point. That's stage one. I mean, you might not agree with me, but let's move on. Stage two, right? Stage two is that people keep talking about the Supreme Court not having the locus to basically look at this. We have the Attorney General Justice Abdullahi, where the Supreme Court struck out standing orders of Parliament.
No, hold on. Those who say that the Supreme Court does not have jurisdiction on the matter, why do they say so?
I don't know why they say so, but they're clearly wrong. But you see, what I'm saying to you is that what matter do they have jurisdiction
in law? If somebody says that somebody does not have jurisdiction in the matter, the person will point to.
Yes, but we are also pointing to that they have. So what you are pointing to?
I'm saying that to say somebody is wrong, you must do that on the basis of what the person relies on.
That's fine, but that is what he is relying on.
Hold on. Those who say that the Supreme Court has no jurisdiction, what are they relying on? Are they relying on the fact that when it comes to vacancy of seats, it is the original jurisdiction of the High Court? Is that their basis?
No. But the point I'm making is that hold on. Yes. The Speaker made a pronouncement. The majority leader goes to the Supreme Court to stay for a stay of that action. I've heard commentators and members of Parliament of the NDC state that Supreme Court does not have jurisdiction to stay that matter.
Why?
They have given a reason, but that's their reason. No, hold on. I really, for matter of time, I don't want to go into that. But I'm disagreeing based on my submission. So what I'm saying to you is that there is a precedent which allows Supreme Court to come into matters of Parliament. And those precedents are Justice Abdullah says Attorney General. How am I wrong on that?
You are wrong.
You want me to now repeat what somebody says that I disagree with?
You are wrong. I am saying that. Hold on. In law, if I say somebody is wrong,
yes,
I will have to rely on something to say that this is the reason why the person is wrong.
Yes, but that's what I'm doing.
Hold on.
I'm relying on that.
If you are disagreeing with me, you disagree with the basis, the legs that I'm standing on, not with the fact that I say that the person is wrong. But why I say the person is wrong is what you must dispute.
Well, okay. So, but the point I'm trying to make to you is that somebody is, in their opinion, right, in other people's opinion, they are saying that Supreme Court does not have locus.
Why?
Well, that's his opinion.
No.
Okay, hold on. But what I'm saying to you is that they do. My position is they do. And I'm saying they do, and I'm giving you instances why they do. That's why I'm quoting Justice.
You are not just saying they do. You are saying they do because of ABC.
Yes.
The person who said they don't.
Yes.
Said they don't because of ABC.
Thank you. So that's
what you must contest.
Yes.
Is what they rely on.
Which is what the Supreme Court is going to do today. They are going to basically look into the merit of that matter. That's fine. That's fine. But the point that we are looking at now is that let's not stand like my brother Ambassador went on and said that there is a fraudulent of misinformation. If anybody does fraudulent of misinformation, then it's the NDC. Because in most instances, you go out there and put out information that has no standing.
For example,
this whole instance example, you standing there and basically calling yourself majority. How are you majority? Majority is won at the ballot box. You cannot, majority is won at the ballot box. In this parliament, in this session of parliament that we have, we know that MPP, by association of Esiama, has the majority in parliament. So you cannot be there by virtue of somebody's pronouncement. Okay, that's why Dr. Baumia said, if you want majority, go to the ballot box and we'll see from there.
Dr. Randy, was the MPP majority won at the police station?
Yes.
No. It was the basis of
Esiama, but it was won at the ballot box.
No. That decision was on the floor of the House.
Yes.
Made by the Speaker.
Yes. So it is not that the
House is made by the Speaker. It's the Esiama's decision to join the side, which makes them the majority.
The decision was not made at the Electoral Commission.
But the decision, but the Speaker cannot deny Esiama who he joins.
Kojo, I'm saying that the decision of who forms the majority occurred in Parliament.
Yes.
It didn't occur at the ballot box.
But the seats that you want to take away, the 4 seats you want to take away, you can't take it away at the Parliament. You have to win those seats. What we are saying is that whatever seat you are saying that is vacant, it's not for this Parliament. And it's not for you to determine, because if you want to determine that, then the political party, based on which they are affiliated to, you need to seek to find out what Speaker could have done, was write to the MPP and ask them that. Yes, but Speaker doesn't have the right to do that. What is he relying on to do that?
So last week, you heard the story. Where is Mamle Morris's constituencies? Where
Aguna East.
You heard of the issues there, the shooting and the accusation, counter accusation.
Yes.
So Mamle Morrison is still a member of your party.
Well, you have to ask the General Secretary that. I can. No, but the point is that look, the determinant of that. What you see? Hold on. See, hold on. As we speak now, who's the MP of that constituency? Who's the MP of that constituency? Who's the MP of that constituency? There's a parliamentary candidate. That you see, you're mixing apples and oranges. There's a parliamentary candidate and there's a member of parliament.
So, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Okay. So, in the case of the second deputy speaker,
yes,
who the notice of poll,
yes,
from the Electoral Commission shows that he's now a member of the NPP.
For the next parliament, not this parliament.
Forget about it.
Yes, but that's what it is.
Oh,
the notice of poll is not for this parliament.
Can you just relax a bit?
Yes, go ahead.
The Michael Quay thing that you eloquently explained.
Yes.
Was it for that parliament? Was it for the
next
was that for the 7th parliament?
That is what I'm saying, that there was a communique.
So
you see the communique.
So if you take your time, you will get my question.
Okay.
Hold on. So I'm saying that in the case of the second deputy speaker, who has joined the MPP as their candidate, who will write to Parliament to inform Parliament that this person is no longer an independent candidate?
But nobody writes to you. That's what I'm saying, that it is not the business of the speaker.
Huh?
It's not the business of the speaker.
But that's
the fact, because in this parliament which they sit, you see what I'm saying to you is that the action or the inaction. And if you read the standing order which he relies on, right, it now says that it is a crossing of carpet to join. Now, if you cross carpet to join, is that person joining in this parliament or the next parliament? He's joining in the next parliament, not in this parliament.
So if the person is joining in the next parliament, how was the Siama?
But that is what I'm saying, that the Siama seat was made by a political party writing a letter, and based on that letter, the speaker made the pronouncement. The speaker has no business making a determination on his own. Yes.
Based on which law?
Because in that parliament, he is a speaker. Yes. He cannot judicate on a matter which is the next parliament. Because he is a speaker. Hold on. What I'm saying to you is that what has the business of the speaker with the MPP constitution?
No, so hold on. The letter that was written to the speaker.
Yes.
Who adjudicated on the letter?
The speaker. Because he was doing that based on a letter written to him.
But
at this, as we speak, Bagman is acting on no letter.
Could you hold on? First of all, you've not even established any law which says
but
that
why should there be a law?
Which says that there must be a letter before he acts.
But the precedent you are setting.
Any case,
everybody opens their mouth and talk about precedent. That precedent, something happened.
Could you just hold on? What the speaker was asked to do, did he have to do with the parliament of the 7th parliament, or he was asked to take a decision for a future parliament?
No, a political party. You are not trying to get the point.
Yes.
You need to take an action based on an information. You can't take in a vacuum. But what is he taking information on? The speaker. Let's make it a point. The parliament has a seat. The speaker is not an elected member. He's not an elected member of the parliament. He's basically an appointed member elected by the sitting members or the elected members to be an umpire of parliamentary issues. Yes. Anything outside parliament, Babi has no jurisdiction. He has no locus. You agree?
What?
Anything outside parliament, Speaker Babinda has no locus. His role as a speaker.
Same as the MPs.
Exactly. His role is in that parliament, this parliament that we sit, where he sits as speaker.
Yes.
He cannot sit as speaker and interpret an MPP constitution.
MPP,
he has, but based on what is he now saying that those people no longer are MPP members?
But a constitution says that if you go and contest,
which constitution?
The MPP constitution.
Thank you. So what is his role looking at MPP constitution? The MPP constitution, is it a standing order of parliament?
Then
you cannot take you cannot take any action in parliament which is alien to parliament.
But
hold on, can I go to parliament and bring standing orders alien to parliament?
Wait. The speaker did not rely on the MPP.
Let me drink
the speaker relied on the electoral commission.
No, but electoral commission is not for that parliament. The point I'm trying to make across, you guys are not understanding, is that I cannot walk into parliament. Hold on. Parliament has their standing orders.
Randy,
we have a constitution of Ghana. No, go ahead, my ambassador. Please go ahead.
I'm drinking some tea.
No, drink some tea, ambassador. You can speak. But on this matter, it is as simple as daylight. It's as clear as daylight. The man has put onto himself powers he doesn't have. He cannot interpret the constitution of MPP. Okay. The MPP has to write to him, which we did in a CMS instance. Okay. It's like, let me give you an example. When you go to court today, there's motive. Before you can now establish a crime, there should be motive. Why is that? Because you need to understand why that crime was committed. Because that will now give you what? The processes. You cannot go and say, oh, I'm basically convicting somebody without establishing motive. So the point I'm making is that he cannot now make an action.
The parliaments for Oshudodio, that point. Okay, I'll take out parts of his first paragraph. He says, tell my friend Kojo Foku, Parliament procedures are enshrined in our standing orders. Public interest issues are always admitted in Parliament through statements and motions. Yeah. So that's...
See, Randy,
yes.
You cannot wake up somebody who's intentionally sleeping. That's what Kojo is doing.
How am I sleeping?
You see, wait.
It didn't say you are sleeping. It says you
intentionally sleeping.
Yeah, you are awake, but you say
no. But that's the fact.
See, what I'm saying. If you read the MPP constitution, it says automatic.
I'm not disputing the MPP constitution. What I'm telling you is that we have a constitution. Why don't we? Hold on. There are some things in our constitution that our neck can sit and basically over. What do you mean?
No.
Some people, hold on. There are basic requirements in our constitution that neck can sit and override.
But in this case, has
no. But that's the point. How do you know neck is not going to sit? How do you know neck is not going to sit? So basically,
your constitution does not require neck to sit.
No, but I am telling you that. But there's a lot of of things in our constitution
No,
that doesn't require. Hold on. It is like the fulfillment of a candidate.
Wait.
When you all know that when Dr. Baumia was made the vice president, he didn't fulfill the requirements to be a candidate.
He was an NDC member.
No, I don't know that.
You know.
You are saying that. The fact that the NEC sat and gave him an exception, right, to become a candidate of the New Patriotic Party. How do you guys know? How does Babi know that the MPP is not in a consultation process to go to NEC and allow those people to still be members by override now? How do you know that? So you have acted without consultation. The people who are trying to say that they are no longer members of the party have not communicated to you.
My goodness.
But that is the fact. You can laugh all you want, but that's the fact. You see, that is why for me, everybody is looking over. Hold on. Everybody keeps talking about this precedent. No, but hold on. This Michael Quay incident is not acted in vacuum. There was a process. Michael Quay was written to. He acted on a letter. But if you want to create that same precedent,
if you want to listen to me, Kojo,
go ahead.
I'm saying that in the speaker's ruling, he took account of the filing of those candidates at the EC.
For the next parliament, not for this parliament.
I didn't hear that one.
Well, I'm telling you, but listen, in every constituency today where PCs have lost, there is a member of parliament and there's a parliamentary candidate. Right? The parliamentary candidate, they are not fighting. The parliamentary candidate cannot hold himself as member of parliament because he's a parliamentary candidate subject to election for the next parliament. The member of parliament who the people, bear in mind, is people's representative. The people of Aguna East has elected Madam Morrison as their MP till January 6th, midnight of January 6th, 2025. That is the law. Nobody can dispute that. You cannot disenfranchise the people of Aguna East by sacking the person from parliament. You cannot do that. But you can. Unless the party on which ticket she stood dismisses her and informs me that she's been dismissed.
So what about in the case of an independent candidate?
Well, what I'm telling you is that I'm talking about the party of a parliamentary
the issue at stake.
Well, a CMS issue is one thing. What I am making the point that you guys are not saying that everybody opens their mouth and they say, oh, there's a precedent.
No, but
that precedent did not act in a vacuum. It did not happen in a vacuum.
So the people involved, not all of them belong to a political party.
Well, that's fine. So let's take. So then there's only one. So then there's only one. Isiama is a member of my political party. So what?
No, now he is.
Sorry, for the next parliament, unless he's elected.
He is a member of your party as we speak today.
Has anybody written to you?
And that's why you can't.
But if you were not a member, how can he be the MPP's candidate?
But we can always adapt. We can always pick somebody on board.
But if you take the person and the person is running on your ticket, that will make the person a member.
Yes, but in this parliament, he's not. We are discussing this parliament.
No,
in this
I'm saying
parliament,
that as we speak today, is a Siama not a member of the MPP?
Yes, but the conversation we are having is pursuant to his being an independent candidate. So why do you want me to speak on that? Today, Siama is a member of parliament and an independent candidate, not a member of MPP. In this 8th parliament.
Yes.
Right?
He's an independent candidate.
Yes.
All right.
So that his people, his constituents, elected him as an independent candidate.
So is somebody from his constituency who must write to the speaker?
I don't know, but you have to find out. Those are the grey areas. Those are the grey areas of our. Do you see the EC letter? Do you see the EC letter on when Kanoko died? Hold on. You see the EC letter when Kanoko died? Listen to this. No, hold on. Listen to this. Very interesting.
See,
he says that.
To talk.
Oh, anytime you talk, you can please go ahead.
Expose yourself the more.
No, please go ahead.
I've allowed you to talk and expose yourself the more. Look, there are 4 people involved in this matter. You have generalized it. And Randy is asking you, what happens to but you see, I'm one of the people who think that a CMS imposition to the MPP is fraudulent again. You see, if you are an independent candidate, right, and you decide that I will do business permanently with this party, it means that you have effectively become a member of the MPP. And that is why when they count the numbers, they add him to make the MPP majority.
Not necessarily, but I agree with what you're saying.
Yes, but the gazetted result of parliamentary election is that MPP has 137, NDC has 137.
So the majority has 138. It is made up of, yes, that's what makes the majority.
137
for MPP.
Plus a parachute.
Which makes it.
Plus a parachute.
Which makes them the majority.
You know,
but you see, what is very interesting.
The issue here is that, you see, what we are all talking about, the Supreme Court is going to determine that today.
But there are always grey areas in our constitution.
But
if you read this letter from EC, it's very interesting. It says, while the 1992 constitution and the public election regulation 2020
are we discussing that?
Are not. I'm just quoting something to make my point. Are not clear on processes to follow in the event of a death of a presidential candidate. You understand? So even the EC, and that is where your question to me about Esiama being an independent now joining and what should I do? Even the EC is saying that the death of Madam Kedonko is not very clearly stated. So as a breathing constitution, well, that's fine, but as a breathing constitution, maybe we will now have to now look at where Esiama's situation falls. But it doesn't fall clearly with the threat.
It does.
Well, you might think it does because you want you see, all this noise, but you know what all this noise is about? All this noise is about the NDC not wanting to allow the MPP to come into Parliament and put forward the bold solutions that we have.
Like what? Are you going to launch a campaign in the Parliament?
Okay. Well,
that's where we need to go.
People keep saying that, one big event today, the Go Ride.
The what?
Go Ride.
What's that?
Oh, the social media hailing ride that is being launched today by Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. It's like Uber or Yango or both. We are doing one for...
Which is the one that was launched sometime this
Tap and Go.
Yes.
That's Tap and Go. That is one. It's ongoing. Oh, yeah. Anybody that bought... It's cashless. Anybody that bought the Trotto Ayololo doesn't pay cash. It's Tap and Go. Okay. Now we are doing Go Ride because the GPRTUs, the taxis, doesn't have an online app. So they are losing out on this new evolution of digitalization. Okay. So now we are launching Go Ride. That is an online app for the taxis. Okay. So now you can go on your phone, download Go Ride, and call a taxi from your house, and they will come and pick you.
Okay. Thank you.
And what would that do?
For you, nothing. For the taxi driver, a lot of
conversation with ACP retired Dr. Benjamin Agojo is going to be extremely interesting. Stay tuned.
Hey guys, so I got this app. It's called Ayoba. It's a chat app that helps me with beauty tips and cooking tips. A super app that feeds me music and the latest sports content. I even use it for my studies. And the good news is I don't need to use my data bundle because I'm on MTN. Chale, the app just did be.
Ayoba, the all-in-one app that lets you chat, call, read, play, pay and listen. Use Ayoba at no data cost on MTN. Download Ayoba now.
Hey, the food be fire. You hear say Electoral Commission they do some exhibition things?
Exhibition? What be that one do again?
This our EC and their big English. Is this exhibition even necessary?
I don't know, self. Look, isn't that our boss from the EC? Okay, my people.
I couldn't help but overhear your discussion about the upcoming exhibition. Let me explain one or two things to you. You see, the officers who register voters are human beings. They are not machines. You understand? So sometimes they might make mistakes when entering your information.
So how would this affect us?
You might live in Kasua, but then they would accidentally select Ayawaso as your district. Or even they can mark you as a female when you are a man.
Assemble.
Go and check that your name is in the register. Say, with details of a correcto perfecto. That is why we are doing this registration.
What if my name isn't there at all?
My brother, don't worry at all. You can ask them for your name to be included in the register once you have your voter's ID card. You can also ask for the correction of a wrong sex. You are male, but they have written that you are female. So you give it to them and they correct it on the card for you.
Really?
Go and fix it very quickly. Who's how your bema? Now we'll catch you with a female.
Where?
Remember, we all make mistakes. That be why the laws they make provision for the exhibition. So say the EC go fit correct all the errors. The EC they ensure say we get clean and credible register. So make you go check your details quick crowd. Or you go fit dial the short code *711*51#. So say you go check your details. You check in there, you go fit check till the elections. The 2024 voters register not there. It be finchim correcto perfecto.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luckiest everywhere.
8K. Hey, you get an 8K.
Get that packing so you have to come out. Wallah. Hey, wait. You go put it on his tab. This is my man. Good luck.
Hey, Mobile radio. We are star 712. It's much more phone. I'm on dialing the magic numbers. Star 712. Now welcome to the luckiest. And I'm with me at ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved one.
Mommy, tell mommy who's here.
You're buying for me, right?
Or who else?
Let's
choose buy tickets for others.
Love you, boo boo.
Maybe straight to option 4. Now, you need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify. Yes, you can buy random or preferred tickets. I'm choosing random tickets. Listen, if you buy the random ticket, the system chooses a random number for you. But if you buy the preferred, you get to input your own preferred 5 digits. 5.
Baby, give me your 5 numbers.
And how much are we buying?
Babe, look at the body and buy you.
With your body,
Hey,
there tread cautiously. Now follow the prompts and confirm. Now the luckiest.
The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TLCs apply.
Papa Sammy, I beg if you find something small, give us.
Bro Sammy, you see, no be say boys no one do nothing and just they rely on handouts. Jobs to no deal.
I understand your hassle. Hope they come. John Mahama they come do the national apprenticeship program where he go sort you guys.
Brother Sammy, waiting with that.
John Mahama knows say no be everybody where won't work for office.
Like me.
That one day is true.
Under the national apprenticeship program, young men and women where they won't learn craft will be enrolled under the program and attached to a senior craftsman who will train them for free.
I beg you, mechanic day inside. Me like this. I don't want to learn mechanical, but the course no.
Mechanics day inside. Organizing, dressmaking, fabric making, catering, hairdressing, tiling, painting. What they even sweet about this whole thing, they say, when you plead, the NDC government go make sure say they go give you certificate where you go fit take go look for job anywhere.
That's sweet. Oh, that's be wonderful.
Another wonderful thing be say, when you plead, the NDC government go set you up with startup capital and equipment to make sure you can start your own business.
Wow! I dey go shopping my town wait 7 December.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. And as earlier advertised, I'm going to have an interesting conversation this morning. It said that if you want to hide something from a black man like me, you put it in a book because we don't like to read. And beyond that, they say that we don't also document our experiences. So there are a lot of us who have rich experiences that should be put together or documented. I mean, first of all, to tell a story and to guide other people and to also let people know what happened. But most of us do not do this. However, there's a man who has documented something that happened over a 5-year, over a 5 to 6 year period, you know, and he has decided to title it From Persecution to Freedom, Reflections on My Journey Through the Justice System in Ghana. Okay. But just to know how this man caught my attention and how I got to know about him without getting to know him personally. And today is the first time that I'm getting to see him physically. to get to see him physically. But this is what caught my attention. And I've been playing this video the last 8 years or so. I mean, long before the persecution to freedom occurred. Just to remind you, let's watch this.
All right. Now, this is the composition of the police council in Ghana. The vice president is a party man. It doesn't matter whether it's MPP or NDC. This is what we have given us, and this is what we work with. Now, a minister responsible for internal affairs, who is he? He's a party man. Then you have the Inspector General of Police appointed by the president. The president can dismiss him at any point in time, and therefore his loyalty is partial. It doesn't matter whether he was appointed by MPP or NDC. His loyalty is divided. Because he can be appointed today and dismissed tomorrow. And the worst scenario is when he is appointed to be acting capacity. It means I'm watching you. That is what it means. Now, the Attorney General is a party man. Then you have a lawyer nominated, that one, a representative of police, very well. 2 members of the police service appointed by the president. So who is that? Those people. Once they are appointed by the president, you know where they are coming from. Then 2 other members appointed by the president. So the whole composition of the police council is the president and it's the party. Why will you give us this and think that we should be professional? You cannot. There's no way you can have a professional police service. It is party politics. And that is why we have become a chess in the hands of the government. Whether it's MPP or NDC, we are chess in their hands. And they are playing political games. That is why no party in opposition can trust the government, can trust the police. Because of what you do with us. And so once you move into opposition, you are scared that the same thing you do with us, the other party will do with us. So there is a need for constitutional amendment. And I propose that if we really want a long-term solution to this vigilantism, one major thing is that the president must be appointed for a fixed. The IGP must be appointed for a fixed term with approval of Parliament to exercise independent control. There's a need for an independent police service commission to replace the current police council. And grounds upon which an IGP can be removed should be spelled out so that the IGP's removal from office cannot be based on the whims and caprices of appointing authority. That the Minister of Interior can only give directives to the IGP in writing on matters of policy, but not as to how the IGP must do his work. This will make the police loyal to the Constitution instead of particular governments.
So this is what caught my attention. And this is how I got to know about a police officer called ACP Dr. Benjamin Agojo. And we kept playing this every morning, even without getting in touch with him and speaking to him on this issue. And remember the COP Kofi Boachi tape that we used to play as well, where he also referenced ACP Dr. Agojo with respect to the structure of the police and all that. Well, little did we know that he was going to go through what he calls a persecution for 5 years. And now he has freedom. ACP retired Dr. Benjamin Agojo. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Dr. Randy. This is a dream come true.
Really?
Yes, I've always watched. In fact, if ever if I did not watch Good Morning Ghana on Metro, then you know that I had something so very important that would not make me sit down and watch. I always watch you. And I'm thankful to Metro and to you in particular for playing that video that you did right now, because I believe that it's made a lot of positive impact in shaping the opinion of people about me. People kept asking, do you know Randy? I said no, and they really doubt it. They wonder how somebody could be playing my tape, and I continue to say I don't know the person from anywhere. So I'm so thankful to you and to Metro.
All right, so we'll get back to that tape.
Yes, definitely.
And I was just looking for a newspaper, and I was just trying to give you some information that at the time that you made this, at the height of the vigilante issues, the data said we had 27 vigilante groups. Today, we are told by the security experts that we now have 72. For those who do the lottery, it's a turning number, 2772. So at the time you made this statement, there were 27 vigilante groups. We are told today they are now 72. But we'll come and deal with that issue at the tail end, the structure of the police service and all that. And now, based on your experience and you being aware and all that, you perhaps even have a much better appreciation of the issues. But let's start off with you. You know a question that most journalists will start with. Who is ACP, retired? And I hope that I am getting it right. It should be ACP retired Dr. Benjamin Agojo. Is that correct? Yes. Or Dr. ACP retired?
No, ACP doctor.
So the
ACP retired.
The ACP retired comes first.
Yes, yes.
Before
doctor.
Okay. Yes. So I just want to know a little about your background, where you were born, where you grew up, education, family. Yeah.
Doc, I was born in Sunyani.
Okay.
And my mother and father are late now. I kept telling people that I even learned how to speak Twi before I knew how to speak my own dialect, Iri. We lived in Sunyani until I was about 14 years or 15. Then my father, who was on retirement then.
Was he a public servant?
Yes, he was working at the military barracks in Sunyani then. Okay. And then we moved to Vakpo, where I continued my education at Vakpo Secondary School, then to Pando Secondary School.
Oh.
I know, by mentioning Pando will make you excited.
Yes. I was at the PASEC 60th anniversary.
All right, so to Pando Secondary School, under the headmaster, Mr. Ahedo, a very strong disciplinarian. And then from there to the police service.
Oh.
And then continued to University of Cape Coast. Then to do my master's in Norway.
So you joined the police service after sixth form?
Yes, after sixth form.
After sixth form. So you did your first degree whilst you were in the police service?
Yes, absolutely, yes. But let me come in here.
Yes.
Briefly, after my sixth form in national service, I went to the University of Cape Coast, briefly for about 2 months or less. Then we had that long strike of about 4 years strike and other things, or is it 1 year, something like that. And so within that period, 3 months into the strike, I enlisted in the police service, so I didn't go back.
Okay.
It will be interesting to know some of my lecturers at the time, but I won't mention it here for good reasons, so that people will begin to attribute certain things to it. Because then I was reading English literature and some other stuff. So
Professor Nana Jane Opoku.
Absolutely, she was my teacher then.
She was then doctor.
She was then doctor. Yes, she had returned from Canada with her husband, and we were one of the first people privileged to be taught by her. Yes. So when I enlisted in the police service, I had one purpose: to continue to upgrade myself, and that's exactly what I did whilst in the service.
So you were a barracks boy?
No, I wasn't a barrack. My father wasn't a soldier. No, he was just a civilian, and we never lived in the barracks. We never lived in the barracks.
Right.
So after 3 years in the police service, I got steady leave into University of Cape Coast. Finishing, then I got a scholarship after that to Norway to read my MPhil. And then soon after that, I worked for a while and I got another scholarship to do a PhD.
Whilst you were still in the police service?
Whilst I was still in the police service. To do another.
Which year was this?
That was in 2008.
Okay.
Interestingly, at that time, maybe you get to know along the line that at that time I had my first challenge with the police service.
In 2008?
In 2008, where I was removed from the police service for for refusing to take what I term an unlawful order from a senior police officer.
Which was that?
Doc, these are part of the things in the book.
Okay.
And I don't want to get into them, but that was the first problem I had with the police service, where a regional commander orders me to do a particular thing that I found to be very unlawful. And when I refused it, everybody ganged up against me. The system in the police service ganged up against me and dismissed me.
In 2008?
In 2008.
Okay.
Interestingly, within that period, 2 months to 3 months into that time, I got a scholarship to do a PhD. And whilst I was going there, proceeding to Italy to do my PhD, I also appealed against that ruling by the police council. And then the police council, before I completed, they had then reduced that dismissal to a reduction in rank from superintendent to a DSP. And then, so by the time I returned, I was a DSP. And that's how I've been in this service. And then I rose to the current rank of Assistant Commissioner in 2017. And then 2019, another thing struck me. And that's what I will say about myself for now.
Okay, all right. So what happened in 2019?
2019, I had just returned from Haiti, where I was on appointment at the UN. And just before I returned, maybe a Thursday before, and I think that was about the 30th of October, thereabout, or 31st, thereabout, 31st October 2019, the then IGP, Mr. Pombuenu, called to ask where I was, and when I responded, he asked me to meet him in his office. Then he told me the BNI wanted to meet me. I said, well, I had not then officially reported to the police after my Haiti experience, so I could only do that Monday because I had a funeral. So that Monday, I reported in my full uniform and then with the UN regalia and other things. And he called and asked me to ask an Assistant Commissioner of Police to accompany me to BNI then, and that's how everything changed.
So when you got to the BNI, what happened?
The BNI informed me then that they found my name on a WhatsApp group called Take Action Ghana. I went there with my lawyers, and I would like to put it on record that of all the 10 people who were involved in this case, I was the only person who had my lawyers present during the interrogation.
Okay.
The BNI will do everything to exclude your lawyers from interrogation room. And they tried to exclude my lawyers, but I insisted that I could not leave my lawyers until they had decided to detain me. And that was how come I got my lawyers into it. And before I continue, it is interesting to note that although the BNI would deny the presence of your lawyers during the interrogation, it is the outcome of this so-called interrogation that they will use against you in court. So for the 9 other people, they will say they confessed during interrogation. And yet, during all this confession, there was no other person but the BNI people. So in my case, they found it very difficult to tell me I confessed to one thing or the other. So going back to the issue, they accused me of being on that platform, and that on that platform there were discussions on a plot to overthrow the government. I explained to them that there was nothing like that during my presence on that platform. They would not take it. I proved to them that, and I even dared them during that interrogation that, look, show me evidence that whilst I was on that platform, this discussion took place. But they were not able to provide anything. And yet, they decided to detain me. So right from the beginning, I knew it was witch hunting, and I knew I was in for persecution. Because they had nothing to prove, and yet they decided to detain me. And that was why, right from the beginning, I was unperturbed. I knew from the beginning that there was no way they were going to get any evidence against me because there was nothing. If I may just jump ahead, you come to observe that even though on the same platform, Take Action Ghana, there were lawyers, there were engineers, there were professors there, I was the only person singled out to be prosecuted. Interesting. I was the only person singled out to be prosecuted, and none other person was prosecuted apart from me. And yet, most of the people I've mentioned, professors and lawyers, some of whom are listening to me now, also paid monies, sometimes some of them even in dollars, to support Dr. McPalm's, late Dr. McPalm's medical outreach program. But I was accused of paying $2,000, and yet others paid even dollars. And I can mention names except that I will not do them. If you read my book, you'll find evidence of how people paid so much, and yet they were left out. And that is evidence of the fact that I was in for persecution.
So, thank you very much. You said this is the very first copy.
This is the very
that
first copy to you.
And I'm privileged. It's autographed too by you. I'm very privileged. So this is a 520-page,
yes,
28-chapter book.
Yes.
At which point in time did you decide to document this?
When I realized that my detention was imminent, I psyched myself and decided that I was going to use it as an opportunity to write my first book. I began to do keen observation of all the processes and procedures and the actions and inactions of the police, of the BNI, of the committal proceedings at Kaneshi Court, of the Attorney General's actions and inactions, their attempts to compromise people, including judges, whether it worked or not. But I've detailed a number of attempts that were made by the Attorney General's office to compromise the judges. And anybody who wants to know should go ahead and read the book. And I've explained copiously why there were attempts to compromise the judges. And also some of the actions of the courts itself, which I term judicial biases towards the accused persons. I've detailed all that for everybody to learn from.
So my question was, at which point did you decide to document? When you realized that
my detention was imminent, and then I started writing as soon as I left the BNI custody.
How long were you there?
1 week. From Monday to Friday, I left the BNI custody.
To where?
To the ministry's police station.
Okay.
Now, remember that there is a world of difference between detention at the BNI and then detention at the police.
What's the difference?
The difference is that at the police, much as you may not like certain things that may happen to you at the police station, there are certain positive aspects. For instance, the police will always provide you, and that's why sometimes when I listen to some of the things that happen to Democracy Hub, I'm surprised. Because that is not what we do. But at the end of the day, they will give you access to, even if not your own phone, the police phone to use to call your relatives, to interact with them. In the presence, oh yes. When I was there, not only me, I can testify to the fact that Dr. McPalm was giving phone to talk to his family. His family visited him. But these things, you cannot get them at the BNI.
Okay.
We have even, my first news file that I watched, that was the first news file after my arrest. I think it was the Saturday after the 4th of November. I was in BNI police custody when I watched it, because you have TV there, and there's radio, and you can just listen to some of the current things that are happening. And you could meet your family, and they could visit you. They could bring you food. except that the police will make sure that the food does not contain anything untoward, and they will make you eat part of the food. These are all procedures that are documented in the police station. And so for police, you can give this to them. At the BNI, you don't have access to these ones. And sometimes for your family to see you is terrible. When they see you once, it is difficult for them to see you again. And they have to fight, and I mean in quotes, fight in order to get you.
So you say that you started writing at the ministry's police station?
I started documenting things. Anytime I had time and I had access to any paper, I scribbled something.
Okay.
And I continued, and I continued. By the time I was sent to the IGP's custody, which was like more or less a house arrest, I had the time.
Explain that. IGP custody, what does it mean?
Now,
there's a cell at the IGP's office.
Now, at a point in time, I complained about the reason for moving to ministry's police station was that I complained about the manner, the ill treatment, the fact that they will not allow you to receive visitors, the fact that they will not allow you access to your family and also to speak to your family, and a number of things at the BNI. So I complained to the, through my lawyers to the magistrate at the district court. So the magistrate court decided to remand me to the police custody or IGP's custody. At that time, the colonel amongst us was also detained at the military facility.
Okay.
And therefore, it was easier for us to argue that, well, just like the colonel, I should also be detained at a police facility. That's how come I moved into a police facility. But before then, the police facility wasn't ready. So I was sent to the ministry's police station, and within 3 weeks or so, the facility was ready.
So when is a police facility, what does it mean? A house?
A kind of apartment where they will keep you under guard.
Okay.
You don't have the freedom to move out, but you have the freedom to move around within your apartment. And there's always a police guard there. Nobody can come in unless you permit it, permit the person. Your family could visit you and go back, etc., etc. That's what I mean.
Here in Accra?
Here in Accra. Okay. It didn't exist until my case.
Okay.
It didn't exist. If it existed many years ago...
Was it because of your rank?
Because there was a precedence with the military.
Okay.
Maybe we also appealed. And once the order was given by the judge at the time, the police had to do that.
There was an incident that also occurred during your trial. Your insistence on wearing your uniform and the decision that you should not appear in court in your uniform. What was that about?
I love this question so much, and I get a bit emotional when I'm talking about it. Doc, I was arrested in my uniform. In fact, I was interrogated in my uniform together with the UN beret. When they decided to detain me, I was in uniform. They stripped my uniform. They stripped me of my uniform and kept the uniform. That was on Monday.
When you say they strip you, what do you mean?
What I mean
they made
is
you
that
take it off?
They made me take it off and gave me some underwear, which was something. I don't want to go there now. And so I was almost half naked. And then I was placed in custody for 3 days. That was Monday, Tuesday. Then Wednesday morning, I woke up and I was informed, prepare for court. I wore that same underwear, went to the reception there, and the only uniform or dress available was the uniform. Now remember, the BNI were not professional enough to take me to my house to change my uniform. That was their responsibility. Or they did not ask my wife to bring me clothes. So when they asked me to dress up, I dressed up in the uniform and the beret.
Because those were the only clothes you had. Okay.
Exactly. In their full glare, they watched me board the vehicle, they sat by me, sent me to court. And then when I returned from court, they now accused me of wearing uniform to court. That was what happened. But you see, that's one of the interesting things about our criminal justice system. You are unable to speak And therefore, all the noise, and I'm using that word, noise, by the Attorney General's department, including their officials, that I intentionally decided to wear that uniform. They told me not to wear it. Those are the fabrications of the Attorney General's office. And I've mentioned names that are associated with it. You see, so you are prosecuted, and you cannot speak until maybe 3 or 4 years into the case before you are called upon to open your defense. And yet all this while, propaganda by the Attorney General is going on, and you have no mouth to speak.
So you were in the IGP's custody,
yes,
the apartment,
yes,
with police guard and everything.
Yes.
So you couldn't go out, but your family could visit you.
My family could visit me and leave.
Okay, and that's when you continued.
That was when I wrote a lot. By the time I left the IGP's custody, I was arrested in November.
November of 2019.
November of 2019. And then I was released on 24th of January 2020. So within this period, I had written over 100 pages.
100 pages?
Yes, because within that period, a lot of things happened. So, and I had my memory right within the period. So I was documenting everything, looking back and recollecting everything. And so, like I said, by the time judgment was given, I had written 26 out of the 29 chapters. And even the 29th and the that was 27th,
28,
and then 24th chapter, I had even done the framework, only waiting for the judgment, which I knew was going to be much ado about nothing, and therefore that's the title for it. And then also whether there was coup or it was something that was orchestrated.
Okay. So you were in custody from November of 2019 to January of 2020.
2020.
Okay. And so you were released in January 2020?
Yes, please.
To go home?
To go home. I was released on self-recognizance bail, and that's another chapter.
Why did it take that long?
It will interest you that I stand to be corrected because I'm on national TV, but I stand to be corrected. I am arguably the first person ever accused of high treason and then granted self-recognizance bail. And that tells you a story, because after the judge listened to us, all the filings and everything, and then that of the Attorney General, you realize that, in my opinion, these people do not have a case against this person. But he had no authority to release me except to say, okay, I can admit him to bail. And that even angered them the more. When you read the story of the reaction of the Attorney General's office, and I know that was the reason why they eventually decided to punish me for it and went in for nolle prosequi to arrest me again.
When did this happen?
That was around, was it March, April 2021?
When you were on bail?
When I was on bail. To arrest me again in order to grant me bail with sureties to be justified. Okay. So unknown to people, I could read into it and say that this was the reason why they did that. Because you see, the bail condition for the self-recognizance was that I should report to the police for 3 months, police and BNI for 3 months, and then to the BNI for another 3 months. And after that, it meant I was not going to report to any of them again, but to go to court and come back. And I saw Attorney General very uncomfortable with that condition. And yet it should have indicated to them that this person you cannot jail because you have no case against them. But they continued what they wanted to do.
Okay. So you were rearrested?
Yes.
And were fresh charges or new charges leveled against you?
Interestingly, let me put it this way. In law, I'm not a lawyer, but I've come very far, so I understand it. When there is a nolle prosequi, you cannot question the Attorney General for it.
Yes.
He decides, and you cannot question him. But in law, it implies a lot of things. It implies that maybe there is no evidence, so the people will be left to go, or there is a new evidence, and for which reason they could be rearrested or something. Now, in our case, we were facing treason felony, which was a lower crime than the one that we were subsequently slapped with, which was high treason. After the nolle prosequi, we were slapped with high treason. But when we went to court, the interesting thing was this. Attorney General told the court and all of us that he had no fresh evidence, although he has escalated the charge to the highest crime on the land. He had no evidence. The charge sheet was the same. The charge sheet only changed. The facts of the case remained the same. No new disclosures. And when the judge asked him to give us new disclosure, he said, no, there was no need for new disclosure. We're going to depend on the same piece of fact. And that tells you that it was meant to frustrate us, and it was a pure persecution. Another interesting thing about our nolle prosequi, we were never informed, we were never given any notification. Under normal circumstances, when you have a nolle prosequi, it may happen in the court, or you could notify the people. We're never notified. We're only asked to write a new statement. And when we refused to write, they sent that to court and then gave us a new charge. And even after the new charge, we did not have that nolle prosequi until our lawyers had to apply for it. So that was also another abuse of the procedures in court. So throughout our trial, those were some of the things. I'm not a lawyer, but many lawyers listening to me appreciate the fact that when you have a nolle prosequi, we should be notified. Whether in court or outside court, we should be notified. And when you decide to escalate charges against your accused persons, at least in court, you have to do new disclosures, and that's what it implies. Or you have no business doing that at all. Otherwise, we have the right to also read meanings into whatever you say.
All right. So the new charges, or the new charge was preferred, moving from treason felony to high treason.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how come this matter dragged for that long, almost 3 years?
Let me say that the matter dragged generally for almost 5 years. Because at first we had to go through the committal proceedings, which they intentionally delayed. Because they will always tell you, oh, we are investigating. And yet, I can tell you, for example, that after collecting statement from me, I was never sent to my house to be searched.
Really?
Oh, yes, till today. There is nothing about search, although I had been accused of abetting a high treason or treason felony at the time. And they even made noise about me supporting financially the coup makers, the alleged coup makers, and other times. They had not even gone to my bank to find out how much I even have.
The only thing was your statement?
The only thing was my statement.
Your house was not searched, nothing?
Nothing. Nothing. Not even my bank account frozen or anything.
Nothing?
Nothing. And that tells you a story. And so when I arrive from persecution to freedom, I know exactly what I'm talking about. So they didn't do any of those things. They were just intentionally delaying it. Now, in my opinion, and I have led evidence to that effect, that they intentionally delayed this whole process in order that by the time judgment was given, I had gone on retirement.
So when this happened, you were ACP?
I was ACP.
You had returned from Haiti?
Yes,
please. A UN assignment?
Yes, please.
Okay. You were 55 years old?
Yes, about that.
At the time?
About that.
About 55?
Yes.
Okay. So you had 5 years to retire from the service?
Yes, please.
You were ACP?
Yes.
Okay. And so when you were arrested, you were detained, and you were put on trial, what did the police service do?
Let me first of all commend the police service for their initial, particularly the Inspector General of Police then, Mr. Pombueno. He actually distanced himself, not by words, but by his actions. I could see that. Because first, he was not aware of all this. He wasn't informed, he wasn't briefed about my detention and the reasons for my detention. And therefore, for him, he has to agree, maybe, and succumb to a process which was more or less political. My trial was a political issue, and therefore, because it was initiated from Defense Intelligence, and then to BNI, and National Security eventually took up, and therefore, what would an IGP do? And maybe we'll come up to this. The IGP could not say no. Give me reasons why you must detain this person. And I've written copiously about that. I don't know whether you have ever heard a senior BNI officer detained in police custody. You won't see that. But you see police officers, senior officers being detained in BNI custody and all kinds of. So at the end of the day, the IGP and all those people did very well by providing me with this IGP custody, which they prepared within a short period in order to house me. I commend them for it because it was not existing before that time. And aside that, I would say that there was little they could do.
What happened to your employment?
My employment? I was interdicted immediately.
Okay.
And that, you know...
Which is procedural.
Which was procedural.
Okay.
But the only abnormal thing about that procedure was that according to the constitutional instrument, CI 76, if you are interdicted and within 3 months, the police are unable to take any internal disciplinary measures against you, that interdiction must be revoked. Now, so in my case, they were supposed to revoke that interdiction after 3 months. They failed to do it. The curious thing is that I appealed to the court, and the court was unable to do it for very strange reasons. The judge then, and I've explained that here, that the matters in which I was involved were unique, and therefore he was unable to grant it. In other words, the judge was using matters that were not before him as a basis for refusing bail. Conditions for giving bail are clear in the law. And therefore, I found it very strange how a judge could go out of the law and then import other reasons for not giving me the bail, when it was clear that the police had violated and breached. And he himself came to the conclusion that I deserved it, except that he was unable to do it. He exercised his discretion, but I think that we need bolder judges in Ghana.
So the case lingered on.
Yes.
Your interdiction stayed.
Yes.
Until you reached the retirement age of 60.
Yes, absolutely.
And then it was after you had attained 60 that you were declared innocent.
Absolutely. I attained 60 in November 2023.
Okay.
Then 2 months after, judgment
was given.
Remember, they have access to all your documents.
Yes.
Now, some of my crucial visas expired by 6. One crucial one, I don't want to mention it on there, expired on the 16th of January.
2024.
2024. And then judgment was on 24th of January 2024. So they ensure that everything of mine expired, including my work and my visas expired before the judgment. I do not know whether it was it was intentional, it was managed, it was orchestrated, but it was strange to me. It couldn't have been coincidence.
So what did the judge say on that day?
For me, whatever the judge said that day, there was nothing new.
What did he say?
At the end of the day, he came out with conclusions, including the fact that I was not on the platform where the said coup plot discussions were allegedly made. And that the 2,000 that I had given, there was no evidence that it was meant to support any coup d'etat, amongst others. Now, the strange thing is this. These evidence were all available in the first place.
So my question to you was that, and it took 5 years.
It took 5
for
years
this to be established.
For this to be established. Meanwhile, this was already established, and that was why I found it very strange when the judge called upon me to open my defense. I think it was a complete miscarriage of justice when I was called upon to. Maybe they had other reasons.
You filed a submission of no case.
Found a submission of no case. Okay. We also did all the cross-examination. And out of the cross-examination, when you read this book, you come to find out that the prosecution witnesses succumbed to the fact that I wasn't part of that platform. They succumbed to the fact that the 2000 was not meant for, and also the fact that my reference to Arab Spring and other things were not related to anything on any coup d'etat. And I had explained all these things, and then they came out. So the judges, if they were ready to do fidelity to the law, should not have called me to open my defense. But they did, which was very strange, and I believe that whatever they said on the judgment day did not amuse me at all, because they were all out there. They were all out there.
So 5 years of your employment had been virtually wasted. I'm sure that in those 5 years, maybe you could have had some promotions and others.
Remember, I was Assistant Commissioner of Police in 2017.
Yes.
And in police service, Assistant Commissioner of Police, I've seen people who have moved from Assistant Commissioner of Police to Commissioner in 2 years. And so
naturally, from ACP, you go to a DCOP.
DCOP.
And from DCOP to COP.
To COP.
Okay.
And therefore, even my 2017 mates,
yes,
most of them had been promoted to the DCOP.
Okay.
And therefore, I didn't have to even mention it. It was a matter of course that the police council, and if the IGP was minded and was fair to his conscience, should have worked with the police council to say, look, this guy needs full restoration. And so if you gave me all my arrears due me from 2017 to 2024 until my retirement, then it also meant that my promotion that were due should have been given me.
Especially when you were declared innocent.
Very much. And that meant that I had done nothing wrong, and that I had a clean record. And so I shouldn't have been applying, and then they will be silent on it.
So you have written?
I have written to the police council. I have copied the Inspector General of Police. And yet, for more
When
than...
did you do this?
Oh, almost 6 months now.
Okay.
And I've not heard from them.
No response?
No response
no
at all.
Acknowledgement
no
of receipt?
acknowledgement.
Yeah.
No acknowledgement. And therefore, I've also decided not to file anything for my retirement benefit, because for me, you see, that's one of the principles I hold dear to myself. I know that you get your rights not by sitting down and folding your arms. You have to work for it. And therefore, I will fight for that promotion, and until I get it, I'm never going to apply for my retirement benefits, even if it means inflation catching up with the money or other things. I'm ready to suffer that, but I just want it to be on record that I left the police service not as an assistant commissioner of police, but as a deputy commissioner of police, or even as a commissioner of police, because nothing stops them from giving me a commissioner of police, even within at this time.
Okay. So this book.
Yes, please.
That you've put together, 520 pages, yes, 28 chapters. What do you expect this book to contribute? Is it just to tell your story?
If it was just meant to tell my story, I don't think there would have been much use for it. But it's also meant to sensitize members of the public about what to expect when they are invited to the BNI, is to sensitize our lawyers, the kind of miscarriage of justice they do when they fail to accompany their clients to the BNI, because it affects the whole process in the courts. It also meant to sensitize the public about some of the procedures, some of the weird procedures and processes that the BNI is likely to take you through, and the fact that you must be very diligent and very careful if you are dealing with them. Otherwise, even though you may be innocent, you could be imprisoned upon all your innocence, you could be in prison. Some of the things that people should know. And also to tell one story. For the world to know whether this coup plot, the so-called coup plot, was real or was an orchestration by certain people in authority to make themselves relevant. And if you want to know what I mean, find out where all the prosecution witnesses are by now.
Where they are.
Where they are. And I'm not going to say anything about it.
So what about your experiences with the prosecution by the AG's department and the judiciary itself?
As for AG,
what will we find? What will we learn?
AG's department, they are good at concocting stories. One of the things you will find in this book is how they try to tell, excuse me for my language, one lie after the another. They'll concoct a story, they come up with theory and concoct a story. If it doesn't work, they go out for another story and concoct. And I've given evidence in this book where they have told a lot of lies. They would, for one example is this. They said that I knew Colonel Gameli, and that together with Colonel Gameli and I had discussed this coup plot with late Dr. Mapam, when they had no evidence to that effect. I like them, the public, to also know that they must be careful when they are dealing with the kind of disclosures that are made in court, because they are likely to say things that are not part of the disclosures, and yet they are likely to use it against you. Now, in the courts, we know that the courts are there to give us justice, right? But I can say in all certainty that you don't expect justice all the time in the courts. If you are always there to expect justice, and don't expect justice folding your arms, I have come out of this by the grace of God, by the fact, by my personal experiences, which I use as an investigator to guide my lawyers, and the excellent work that my lawyers did, and the commitment to my cause. They believed in me, and therefore they were ready to do anything, sacrificing for me.
Who were your lawyers?
Mr. Martin Kwebu.
Yes.
And all his friends. I don't want to call out any other names, but all the lawyers in his chambers played a role. They represented Martin Kwebu at one time or the other. Particularly Komivi Jochi, who was there almost all the time, and others who were also there. Hamdia, I'll mention, because he was present when I was interrogated for almost 6 to 7 hours. All these people did fantastic work. So the courts, you must open your eyes, because you may not always get justice. And there are many times that the courts may also show some biases, whether intentionally or unintentionally. And also watch out for instances where the Attorney General's department will do something, either by their action or inaction, to compromise the judges. Whether they succeed in compromising them or not is another issue.
And you say there's a chapter for that in your book.
The chapter is titled Injustice in the Justice System.
Okay.
And that's specifically chapter 25.
Okay. Injustice in the justice system.
Yeah, injustice in the justice system.
Okay. So 4 p.m.
4 p.m.
Today. Christ the King. Parish Hall. Opposite the Jubilee House. 4 p.m. to 7:30 p.m.
7:30. And the chairperson is Togbe Dr. Nyaho Tameklu.
Oh, okay.
And the MC is Kafuide.
Okay.
Now, the interesting thing about Dr. Nyaho Tameklu is this. When I made my first comment on another platform about civil uprising, for which a minister of state took me on and threatened me, it was in relation to something that Dr. Nyaho Tameklu was alleged to have said in 2018 or there.
The Minister of State threatened you?
Oh, yes.
Publicly or privately on your phone?
Not on my phone, on a WhatsApp, a group WhatsApp platform. And I have it. It's there. You will see.
So is it in your book?
It's in my book.
Okay.
And the name of the minister is in my book. I've mentioned it, but I wouldn't want to be mentioning his name. So read the book and the circumstances under which he threatened me.
Okay.
interesting in that book is also the circumstances under which the Attorney General Godfrey Dami unintentionally or maybe unconsciously confessed before me and my lawyer Martin Pebu that I was not part of this case. They only added my name.
He said that?
He said that in my presence. So the circumstances under which he said it, you'll find it in this book.
I see. That's interesting. So there are many reasons why you should be at the Christ the King Parish Hall today, 4 p.m. That's 4 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. For the launch of this book, From Persecution to Freedom, Reflections on My Journey Through the Justice System in Ghana. 520 pages, 28 chapters. And that's the contribution of ACP retired Dr. Benjamin K. Agojo. Now, I find something curious. In this book, you decide not to use any of your titles. Not your police title, not your academic title. Any particular reason?
You mean the chapter, the
book, page? Yes. So I look at it and I don't see.
Well,
it's just Benjamin K. Agojo.
Well, that's my real name. That's first thing. That's my real name. Other ones, you could call me Ben. You could call me Kwesi. You could call me Nathan.
You're Kwesi like me.
Yes. Okay. So that is it. I think that I could do without it. And I'm yet to see a book where people write titles.
Yeah.
Maybe if you want to read about me, it's at the back here. Okay. You could find out more.
So what are you doing? What are you doing with yourself?
For now, I do some teachings at certain universities at the graduate level. Okay. I don't need to mention them. At least I have 2 appointments in public universities where I teach. Okay. Yeah. Currently, I'm teaching governance and leadership in one of the universities.
How's your family holding up? How's your family in all of this? Your wife, children? You have children, right?
Oh, yeah, 5 of them. Okay. And they are all big.
They're
adults now. They are not children. Okay. And they are doing very well. They are proud of their father, although the journey wasn't an easy one. But by the grace of God, he had been prepared for it somehow, because I told you how I was removed from the police service years back. So they are used to their father. They know their father is so principled, and if he has to stand for something, he will. And therefore, that's not a big deal at all.
How about your sweetheart, Edem?
Oh, she's doing very well. She's doing very well.
How did she take all this? How supportive was she?
Let me say that she was really supportive. And there was a time I said something that, look, men should learn to take care of their wives. Because unknown to you, you will not always be on the hill all the time. You may find yourself in the valley. And if you don't take care of her and add value to her, for her to reach a certain level where she could stand in the gap, when you find yourself in the valley, it will be very difficult. She's been very supportive, and I'm proud of her. And the children, they've been very supportive too. Most of them are working, and they are on their own. And so, strong.
Okay, so ACP retired. I hope that sooner I'll have to take out the ACP and use a COP.
Definitely.
Retired Dr. Benjamin Agojo. But it's been interesting speaking with you, and I will be around at 4 p.m. today to support you.
Thank you so
my
much.
crew will be there as well. But thank you especially for documenting this, for all of us to really find out the facts about the issue, and also to guide us moving on. And we thank God for your life. We thank God. I'd have to bring you another time for us to speak about the police service, especially the structure.
Maybe the details now.
Yes.
Because there are certain details. I say that this book is not for the faint-hearted, because there are things you read and you wonder, wow, did this really happen? Then
like
what? Are you sure?
Like what?
Certain things that happen, particularly in the courtroom. You will be amazed.
Really?
You will be amazed.
And all of these
all of them are documented. And that's why I say it's not for the faint-hearted. You read some things and people will want to... I don't think they have even they wouldn't even have the guts to say it didn't happen, because all the lawyers who were present in the court, there is one lawyer who was ready to stand and say, mention my name in this book and say that this is what I said to support this description you are giving about proceedings in the courtroom.
Okay. So this is a no-holds-barred book.
No. I mean...
you didn't redact anything.
No. Everything happened live.
Like and they say if you went to Sebi.
You see, the fact remains that, you see, people are interested in, people were arrested for attempted coup, and then some of them have been imprisoned. No, I am interested in, between the two events, what really happened. That's what is hidden to the public.
Right.
So the public should not say, Ben is acquitted and that's all. The things I went through and the things others went through, and the fact that if these people had the resources, those even who are convicted, if they had the resources and the experience and the expertise that I had, would the story would have been different.
Right.
You need to read this book to find out.
All right. So, ACP retired Dr. Agojo, thanks for being here. Like I said, we thank God for your life. And I'll have you here again. We'll speak about the restructuring of the police service and all that. But thank you so very much.
Thank you too.
And I wish you the very best today and beyond, as far as this, the launch of this book is concerned. So 4 p.m. today, Christ the King Parish Hall is the launch of this book, From Persecution to Freedom, Reflections on My Journey Through the Justice System in Ghana. So please be there, and I'm sure that the book will be on sale after today.
Oh, yes,
so we'll be able to tell you where you can find
over there.
Yes.
Soon after the auction.
So it'll be on sale at the event, and then after the event, we'll let you know where you can get this book to buy. So thank you very much.
Welcome
once again, and thank you for watching. Up next, Metro Sports.